And now the trial of the former ballerina accused of shooting and killing her estranged husband is set to begin.
Ashley Benefield is on trial for the murder of her husband in the so-called Black Swan murder case.
After so long since the murder, I was really excited, a little bit anxious about the trial that we were finally going to get some answers.
Okay, bring the jury in.
When you think of the term Black Swan, you think of the movie Black Swan. I definitely think it was apt for this case because you have somebody who the prosecution is claiming is a femme fatale.
The former ballerina and bikini model married 54-year-old Doug Benefield after a whirlwind 13-day romance.
On the early evening of September 27, 2020, Ashley Benefield was scared to death and felt she had no choice but to defend herself.
I could see how upset he was getting. I was trying to get him to leave.
He is simmering when he arrives at Ashley's home. He's on a slow boil, actually, because he knows that this relationship is over.
He started screaming at me. He said, I don't have to leave. I can stay and spend the night if I want to because I'm your husband.
Doug Benefield viewed Ashley Benefield as his property.
He said, you can't leave me.
Then what happens?
He hit me on the side of the head. I ran.
Where?
To my room.
Ashley, did you have anything in your room that could protect you?
I had my gun. Doug was standing in the doorway. His face was red. Like the veins were bulging in his neck. The way he was looking at me, it didn't even look like Doug. I held the gun like in front of me and I said, stop. He started coming towards me and then he lunged at me.
There was an effort by the defense to paint Ashley as the victim. And the thing is, Doug is the victim in this case. Doug was the one that was murdered.
You say he slapped you?
He hit me.
Was his hand open or closed?
I don't remember.
This was an act. You grabbed your firearm. Is it in a holster?
I don't remember.
Somebody has a story, and when it's not true, and you call them on the details, they often say, I don't remember.
So he lunged. Was his fist up when he lunged?
I don't remember.
I believe Ashley Benefield was an abused woman.
She just came over. Her estranged husband attacked her, and she says she shot him.
Deadly force was absolutely justified under the circumstances.
Whenever the defendant takes a stand in a criminal case, it is always a huge risk. It's either you are acquitted or you walk yourself right into prison.
I thought he was gonna kill me. There was nowhere to go. I was trapped.
What happens when reporters take you inside the story?
I've been asking for over 1.5 years for access into this place, and this is the first time we're getting it.
You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
This is CBS.
This is NCIS. You put on that uniform, you agree to protect the person next to you, no matter what. Welcome to Australia.
Match made in heaven.
Watch out! Hey, hungry? Shout you a crock burger?
NCIS Sydney. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus. Returns CBS Full.
I'm Erin Moriarty of 48 Hours, and of all the cases I've covered, this is the one that troubles me most. Listen to Murder in the Orange Grove, the trouble case against Crosley Green, wherever you get your podcasts.
Be in the know, even when you're on the go, with the CBS Mornings podcast.
Some news you can use at the grocery store.
Better mornings start better days.
When you look good, feel good, you do good.
That's right.
Listen to CBS Mornings on the go on Apple Podcasts.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
Write a prescription for the healing of America.
We're retired and this is our paradise.
Now it's gone.
You get the stories of America every night. You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
I can only describe it as evil.
Follow and listen to Train to Kill, The Dog Trainer, The Heiress, and The Bodyguard on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
My job can get dangerous sometimes, but I'm very good at what I do. I know you're scared. I'm here to help.
They said you were the best.
Your daughter hired me to bring you home. I made her promise I would never stop looking.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You hear about the reward?
Come here.
Okay.
Tracker. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
After nearly 4 years, the trial of Ashley Benefield, the former ballerina charged with second-degree murder for shooting her estranged husband Doug, began in the summer of 2024.
We stand with Ashley!
In the lead-up to the trial, a small group appeared near the courthouse to support Ashley's claims of self-defense.
We stand with Ashley!
Outside the Manatee County Courthouse this morning, a group showing solidarity for Ashley Benefield.
Among the supporters was Ashley's mother, Alicia, and Ashley and Doug's 6-year-old daughter, Emerson, who stopped to speak to a reporter.
It feels like I'm standing up for the right thing and that I'm doing the right thing for her.
Emerson's public show of support caught the attention of her half-sister, Doug's daughter, Eva Benefield.
Well, there's a lot of things that I could say.
Eva, known as Eva the Freakin' Diva on TikTok, let her 500,000 followers know just how she felt.
So I think that we should probably stop shoving cameras in 6-year-olds' faces when they have no idea what's going on.
Lead prosecutor Suzanne O'Donnell says she believes Ashley killed Doug to guarantee she'd always be number one in Emerson's life.
I think Ashley wanted sole custody of her child and was very afraid that she was going to lose custody altogether.
In her opening statement to jurors, O'Donnell outlined the state's theory of the case.
This was a custody battle that this mother was going to win at all costs. And the cost was the life of Doug Benefield. And that is murder.
There were allegations.
Defense lawyer Neil Taylor made his argument that Ashley shot Doug in self-defense after he physically assaulted her.
Douglas Benefield was a violent abuser. Ashley Benefield's efforts to placate him was absolutely consistent with what abused women do.
For the first time ever, Ashley would tell a jury what she says happened that night.
How are you feeling this morning, Ashley?
Nervous.
All right, try the best you can and relax, and we'll get through this.
Okay.
The trial took place in Bradenton, Florida, near where Ashley was living with her mother when she killed Doug. It was the culmination of a long and complicated relationship.
And it goes all the way back to when they met, back in 2016.
In 2016, Doug was living in Charleston, South Carolina, and was a consultant for technology companies. At 54 years old, Doug was 30 years older than Ashley, but as she told the jury, she was still smitten with him.
He was funny, very smart, charming. We just instantly clicked.
The couple met at a political dinner. At the time, Ashley was working in the Sarasota campaign office of Donald Trump and sometimes helped stir up the crowds at his rallies. Ashley had also done some swimsuit modeling and, for a time, had danced with the Maryland Youth Ballet. Only 13 days after meeting, they married.
A lot of people ask, why did he marry her so fast?
Doug's civil attorney, Stephanie Murphy.
I mean, come on. When Doug first met her, she was every single bit as beautiful as those modeling photos will show. She was a knockout.
Describe for us the man you thought you'd married.
He was very loving and attentive. We laughed a lot. And he made me feel very special and loved.
Doug invited almost no one to the wedding, not even his teenage daughter, Eva.
He loves this girl, his 15-year-old daughter. He goes and gets married and doesn't even tell her.
Yep.
Tommy Benefield is Doug's cousin.
It's bewildering. I would have talked him out of it. Eva certainly would have talked him out of it.
Eva was still dealing with an unspeakable trauma. 9 months earlier, her mother, Doug's then-wife, had died. It was Eva who discovered the body of 56-year-old Renee Benefield in their home, dead from an undiagnosed heart ailment.
After my mom died, he really took kind of a motherly role along with a fatherly role.
And he made his daughter a promise.
And I said, are you going to remarry? Are you going to start dating? Are you going to have other kids? Like, what's going to happen? And he said, no, Eva, I'm here for you. I don't plan on doing any of that.
But just 9 months later, Doug told his daughter he had married his new girlfriend.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
Doug encouraged Ashley to try to mother a reluctant Eva, who was only 9 years younger.
He basically told her that I needed somebody. I needed a motherly role in my life. And I didn't think that I needed that.
Ashley would later tell jurors there was tension in the house, and just months into their marriage, the couple had a major argument about Eva.
He pulled the gun out and held it to his head. He said that he was gonna blow his brains out, and I was gonna have to watch him. And he pulled the trigger and he shot a hole in the ceiling in the kitchen.
Doug's friend Trip Cormany remembers Doug being embarrassed when he told Trip that he fired a gun in the house.
In his words, he said, I did the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life.
But even that did not end the relationship. Instead, 2 days later, Doug and Ashley went ahead with a formal wedding reception. The newlyweds were also planning for the future. Ashley had a grand plan to create a national ballet company.
I don't know that Doug could spell ballet before he met Ashley.
And they wanted to start a family.
You know, when you love somebody, what do you want to do? You want to make her happy.
What happens when you get conversation over conflict?
I think they've taught me to have grace and compassion.
When we follow the human side of the headline.
I'm not asking that we ignore disability, rather that we do not ignore ability.
When news takes you where the story happens.
We've just crossed into Lebanon.
When the world's best journalists come together to cover your world, you get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight. It's the most popular F word in Washington, fraud.
Is it true that the Social Security number of just about every single American is available for sale on the dark web?
An eye-opening 60 Minutes report.
That's chilling.
It's time for 60 Minutes.
Your life is still a mystery.
When your gut tells you something fishy's going on, there's almost always a 4-day-old carp lying around somewhere.
Finishing this is the only thing that's important to me. Either way, the truth is coming out.
Heading home? Who the hell are you, Madeline Matlock?
Matlock. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
Sunday morning, we hail a driverless taxi. Plus billionaire Barry Diller's revealing new memoir. And when trash becomes art, this Sunday morning.
Politics isn't a game. When do consumers actually get to touch and feel a difference in their lives? Politics is about policy. So you would encourage Democrats to work with Donald Trump on an issue like healthcare? I'm a voracious consumer of information, and I'm impatient. I don't like to be spun. Do you know if there are active terror cells in the United States right now? To be moderator of Face the Nation means bringing the most powerful stakeholders to the table to become better informed.
It was almost like being face-to-face with the devil.
48 hours reports.
I fought and fought.
911, what is your emergency?
She disappeared off the face of the earth.
Stream 48 hours, 24/7.
Elspeth, I thought I saw you. And then I thought, well, who else could it be? Dressed as a member of the Lollipop Guild.
I work with the police.
I like my outlandish theories with a heavy dose of evidence. Nice alibi, by the way.
Can you be careful with that?
Whoever did this is still out there. And I do love a mystery.
Elsbeth. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
Even though there was a growing tension at home between Ashley and Eva,
He promised me that things were going to be okay eventually.
Doug went ahead with helping Ashley follow her dream, establishing a ballet company in Charleston with a unique mission. Athena Nikolakopoulos interviewed with Ashley and loved what she heard about her vision for the new company, the American National Ballet.
She didn't want a cookie cutter company. She wanted girls that were tall, girls that were short.
As they worked to get the company off the ground, Ashley focused on her other dream, becoming a mother. There was one problem. Doug had a vasectomy, but he agreed to have it reversed, and before long, Ashley was pregnant.
How did that sit with you?
It didn't sit well at all. He said he wasn't planning on doing any of that. So this kind of felt like another stab in the back.
In the summer of 2017, some 40 dancers from all over the world began arriving in Charleston to work with Ashley. But Ashley was nowhere to be found.
We get there and we're like, where is she? And Doug announces that she's bedridden with a really difficult pregnancy.
At the end of August, Ashley went back to Florida to live with her mother, while Doug tried to make the ballet work in Charleston.
We decided together, he said that he couldn't take care of me, he was too busy, and that my mom could take care of me better, so I was happy to go.
But one September evening when Doug was out, Ashley and her mother came back to the house in Charleston. Ashley would tell the jury about that night.
I had decided that I was going to leave him, and so I went back to get my things and left him a letter saying why I was leaving.
In the letter, Ashley called Doug possessive, controlling, and manipulating. She wrote about that incident where he'd shot a hole in the ceiling in the kitchen, and wrote that his behavior has left me fearful for my life and safety, as well as that of my unborn child. She told the jury why she was so afraid of him.
He would throw things or break things or smash things. He would come at me like he was going to hit me. He told me I was lucky that he punched walls instead of me.
Nearly a year after Doug's death, we spoke to his family lawyer, Stephanie Murphy, about the letter Ashley left Doug.
I really think that Ashley thought that that was going to be it. Just pack up her stuff, leave a note, and it was going to be over.
But the letter didn't deter Doug. He sent text after text begging Ashley to reconsider. Instead, she reported Doug to the authorities.
She got Child Protective Services involved from Florida.
Ashley told police that Doug had anger issues and was violent. Investigators interviewed Eva.
I was constantly having people come up to my door and questioning if my dad was a good dad. And it just made me so angry because he was.
After an investigation, Doug was cleared. But Ashley began asking questions about the death of Doug's previous wife, Eva's mother, Renee. Ashley texted Doug. Wait, what did she die of again? Doug told her that Renee had a 75% artery blockage. Ashley, I thought I have heard you say something about medications or something, like bad drugs? Doug's cousin Tommy says Ashley told him she thought Doug had poisoned Renee.
What was your reaction? You must have been like, what?
It's out of left field. I've read the autopsy report. It's clear. Died of a heart attack, essentially.
But Ashley, who said she was more nauseous than she would have expected as a pregnant woman, was suspicious.
Ashley believed that Doug has been poisoning her while she was pregnant with their daughter. They were both big tea fans, and she hearkened back to the times that Doug was bringing her tea in bed.
After she left him, Doug sent her a package of tea for her birthday.
When I opened it, there was an overwhelming smell, like a real strong chemical smell, and I got like an instant headache.
Did you report it to the police?
Yes.
According to a detective, it was determined that the substance that was mailed to the victim was just tea.
What was the result?
No charges.
By the start of 2018, Doug closed the ballet and was out of communication with Ashley. But he wanted to be part of his new baby's life and asked Stephanie to send Ashley a letter allowing him to be there for the birth. Instead, the next day, Ashley checked into the hospital without telling Doug. It was 3 weeks before her due date.
She was at Tampa General Hospital claiming the child had been exposed to heavy metals in utero because her husband had poisoned her.
Ashley told hospital staffers that when Doug learned she was pregnant, he hit her and locked her in a room back in Charleston. She also said Doug had stalked her in Florida. No charges were filed, but the hospital took precautions and registered her under her middle name, Christina. 3 days later, doctors performed a C-section, and Ashley gave birth to a baby girl. Doug was not notified.
I think that Ashley's proposal from the very beginning was, you'll have nothing to do with this child.
We're NCIS. Do you guys want to see me do the cha-cha slide? Can we get to the body, please? Right.
Oh, what's got you so punchy lately?
Not punchy, passionate.
This is a great team for what?
We're NCIS.
NCIS, all episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
No matter how you start your day, one thing is clear.
Actually, two things. Pretty sure it's three.
Guys, whether it's news, money, health, or wellness, sports, movies, or even inspiration.
Clearly, CBS Mornings is the place to be.
That's like 7 things.
Okay, clearly, I'm bad at math, always been. Clearly, CBS Mornings, weekdays at 7 on CBS.
We can start whenever you're ready.
Ready?
Yeah. Where are you? No, stop! Wrong pedal, wrong other pedal! Oh! He's in a wheelchair! What do you want? Not stop the car! That's a kid! Kid! Give it to me.
Did I pass?
Now serving 942.
Go to the ends of the earth.
We'll hit the heights.
A great adventure together.
And reach for the stars.
Star power. I like it.
So cool.
But wait, there's more.
Experience thought-provoking.
Something that's undeniable.
With mindfulness. Innovative.
Magical. It's like being a child.
And truly original reporting.
How'd you do your research?
I tell a good story.
Because there's always something new under the sun on CBS Sunday morning.
Hi, CBS. I'm Tom Ellis. I can't wait for you to see my new show, CIA, coming CBS Fall.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
Write a prescription for the healing of America.
You get the stories of America every weeknight. You get the all-new CBS Evening News.
When everything's on the line, real heroes rise to the occasion. Or die trying.
We're firefighters. We're gonna find a way to get you out of here. We take the hits together.
We're on the same team.
I'm right here with you, no matter what.
I would never leave you hanging in the deep end.
This place is a way of giving you new family.
Fire Country. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
The news that Ashley had given birth to a baby girl in March 2018 took more than a month to reach Doug. Ashley said she still believed he had poisoned her and the baby, so she signed them up for 26 consecutive days of treatment in this hyperbaric chamber.
It can detox the body of heavy metals and other toxins.
Safety Director Robert Cederoth says Ashley and her 3-month-old daughter Emerson spent 40 hours in total in the chamber. She was the youngest patient ever treated here.
Ashley's daughter was really small, so we ended up taking this ring and we put it around her waist. It was like she was like a little ballerina, and so her half of her body was actually inside of the hood.
In the summer of 2018, the poisoning allegations came to a head when the Benefields squared off in a Bradenton, Florida courtroom. Doug wanted to see his daughter, and Ashley was requesting an injunction to keep him far away.
Okay, let's go ahead and go on the record of Benefield versus Benefield. Case number.
An audio recording was made of the proceeding. Ashley accused Doug of poisoning her and told the judge about that incident when Doug fired a gun into the ceiling.
If you'd begin by stating your full name for us, please.
Douglas Glass Benefield.
Doug admitted to firing the gun and explained to Ashley's attorney that during an argument, he wanted Ashley to stop speaking.
So at this point, you decide that the next way that you're going to do to keep her from talking about anything is to shoot the gun?
Yeah. There's not a lot of great ways to figure out what I was thinking. It was definitely to put a stop to the conversation.
But Doug denied poisoning Ashley. In September of 2018, the judge ruled in Doug's favor, granting joint custody. She said she didn't believe anything Ashley had to say.
There is absolutely not a single scintilla of credibility that I'm attaching to anything that was testified to, at least in this hearing, of Miss Benefield.
Days later, Doug and Ashley met at the sheriff's office so he could see his 6-month-old daughter for the first time. Stephanie says Ashley suggested that the three of them, Doug, Ashley, and Emerson, spend time together.
And Doug said, okay, sure, because Doug wanted to make the transition as easy for his daughter as possible, because to her, he was a stranger.
Over the next year, the three of them were together frequently.
Doug thought they were back together, that they were doing what they were supposed to do in the beginning, which was to slowly get to know each other, be a family. I thought everything was going to be okay.
But things were not okay, and Doug was in for a big surprise, Stephanie says. In August 2019, Doug found out Ashley was dating another man. Doug filed for divorce, and Ashley lodged a new round of accusations about him.
Ashley accused Doug of sexually abusing his daughter. She accused him of a whole litany of things.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Doug vehemently denied the allegations, and the sheriff's office seemed to agree. They investigated and closed all of the cases regarding allegations of abuse without filing charges.
I want to be clear about something. Was Doug ever charged with any crime?
No, sir.
In the summer of 2020, Ashley made plans to move to Maryland with her mother and daughter. Despite the difficulties in their relationship, Doug chose to join them. Doug told friends he still wanted to be part of his daughter's life and continued to hope he could reconcile with Ashley and have a fresh start in Maryland.
There's nothing I can say that could possibly turn him around on this. He's going to do this if it kills him.
It was September 27th, 2020, the day the turbulent relationship between the Benefields finally boiled over. Doug arrived at Ashley and her mother Alicia's home to help pack for the move.
Alicia decided to take the baby for a walk down to the neighborhood park.
Ashley stayed behind with Doug. It was shortly thereafter when Ashley ran to her next-door neighbor, sobbing and carrying her .45 caliber gun, and he called 911.
It's right next door to me. She just came over. Her strange husband attacked her, and she says she shot him.
Doug had been shot in the leg and chest. He lived for an hour, but died at a nearby hospital. Ashley's attorney met her at the sheriff's office. Detectives began investigating Ashley's claim of self-defense, but they'd have to do it without her.
She didn't speak to detectives at all.
But after a month of investigation, in November of 2020, Ashley Benefield was charged with second-degree murder. She pleaded not guilty. After 17 days in jail, Ashley posted a $100,000 bond. It was nearly 3 years later, in July of 2023,
next week is her first in-person hearing,
that there was a key hearing in the case that brought everyone together, including Doug's daughter, Eva.
which means I'm gonna see her in person for the first time since she killed my dad.
Ashley's team had asked for the case to be dismissed, claiming she had shot Doug in self-defense, and prosecutors were fighting it.
Did you do the autopsy of Doug Benefield?
Yes, I did.
Eva wasn't fully prepared to hear the details of her father's death.
The projectile path went through the chest wall on the right side, and then it hit the right lung.
It's talking about my dad in a way that doesn't feel very humane. They referred to the murder, the shooting, as the incident, and they pulled up pictures of his body, and, you know, they referred to my dad as the victim.
Did you, in fact, process the victim's shirt in this case?
I did.
It's been difficult for me to kind of grasp what's going on, and then hearing about it over again and over again and over again. It's a lot.
The judge denied Ashley's motion to dismiss the case. Ashley would have to stand trial for killing Doug. And that is when Ashley would tell the jury her version of what happened that night.
I said, I'm done, and you need to leave now. He said, you can't leave me.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
This was an entire building. It will take years to rebuild.
We're from CBS News, American television.
You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
This case.
It's like a screenplay, something straight out of Hollywood.
But it's not fiction. It's 48 hours.
Human remains found this week.
4 families shattered.
There's no physical evidence.
The mystery would haunt investigators for years.
There's some questions that have to be asked and need to be answered.
Like a John Grisham novel.
A gripping true crime original. 48 hours. Now streaming on the free CBS News app.
No matter how you start your day, one thing is clear.
CBS Mornings is the best way to start your day.
I can see clearly now.
My morning routine.
The first thing I do when I wake up is turn off the alarm.
I try to remember where I put my phone down.
One alarm goes off at 4 a.m.
I need not 1, not 2, but...
And I'm out the door at 4:15.
3 snoozes to get out of bed fully coherent.
How much detail are you looking for?
I love a bath full of bubbles. The more bubbles, the better.
I'm very quick with the actual coffee, shave, shower, dressed out the door, but all around that is just pure chaos. For example, this morning, these are dirty socks.
You want my honest answer? Am I a morning person? I gotta be honest. I wish morning started at like 10 a.m. Can I say that? Clearly.
It's a bright way to start your day. CBS Mornings weekdays at 7 on CBS.
People with developmental disabilities were once sequestered by the hundreds of thousands in institutions.
Many of our fellow citizens are suffering tremendously because lack of attention, lack of imagination, lack of adequate manpower.
Disability activists have since torn down barriers blocking them from living at home or in the community.
We conclude that Title II of the ADA requires states to provide community-based treatment for persons with mental disabilities.
But of the 16,000 people who remain in state-operated institutions, half are in 5 states, and Illinois is one of them.
I don't want to live in the institution. It makes me feel discriminated against.
Do you think there are people living in institutions in Illinois that don't need to be living there?
Yeah, because they're proving it as soon as they get out.
What happens when we follow the human side of the headline?
I was in tears.
Life is a little bit different now.
It's gonna take a while to get used to. And I said it to myself that I can't make this about me.
You get the all-new CBS Evening News.
One of the first witnesses at Ashley's murder trial was Doug's 23-year-old daughter.
Please state your name.
Eva Benefield.
Eva had lived with Doug and Ashley when they were newlyweds and saw firsthand how they interacted.
Did you ever hear your dad at any time yell at her?
No.
Did you ever see or hear your dad threaten her?
No.
Did you ever see or hear your dad get physical with her?
No.
Prosecutors next called John Sant to the stand.
Do you solemnly swear with her?
He is the neighbor Ashley ran to after shooting Doug. His 911 call was played for the jury.
Calm down, honey, calm down. She's with me now, quite upset. The weapon is here. Said that he attacked her and she shot him.
Prosecutors asked Sant if he had noticed any bruises on Ashley that night.
At any time during this interaction with Ashley, did she appear to have any injuries?
No.
The next morning, prosecutors called Ashley's mother, Alicia Byers, to the stand.
Good morning.
She swore that Ashley had never discussed with her details of the shooting.
To this day, you've never talked about it? No.
Prosecutor Rebecca Friel found that curious.
She never said, Mama, he beat me, or he was coming at me, or any of those things. We thought that was important to show that the person who's probably the closest to her in the world was unaware of those things.
To show how Ashley behaved when she didn't get her way, prosecutors called Detective Chris Gillum.
Where do you work?
Manatee County Sheriff's Office.
Detective Gillum testified that Ashley once demanded that he arrest Doug in court before a sitting judge. for contacting her when he was not supposed to. Gillum refused.
Her tone turned from the crying to very aggressive, and she says, "You will effing arrest him in front of the judge, and I will make sure you do it."
What did you say to that?
I said, "It's not going to happen." She started crying again, and came out with a comment, something to the effect of, "I can't believe you're willing to allow Doug to kill me and the baby."
The prosecution presented this video found on Doug's phone to show that Ashley was never afraid of Doug. It was taken just 1 week before the shooting. Doug is recording himself playing a game with Ashley, her mother, and Emerson. But maybe the prosecution's most important witness was medical examiner Dr. Russell Vega.
And that's the chest injury, just to the right side of his right nipple.
He testified about the 2 bullets that hit Doug in the leg and chest.
Would you be so kind as to stand up and kind of point on your body to where the entrance wound would be?
Certainly.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Because prosecutors say Doug was shot in the side, they theorized that he was likely turning to run away when he saw Ashley point the gun.
Your Honor, at this time, you take rest.
It was defense lawyer Neil Taylor's turn.
The defense calls Ashley Benefield.
He called Ashley to the stand and asked about the times she was afraid of Doug.
Sometimes he would drive really scary, yelling and screaming at me, like running up on curbs. One time he almost hit a tree. He would get in my face and he'd yell at me. He'd come at me like he was gonna hit me.
And Ashley said Doug once punched the family dog, Sully.
He punched him in the face so hard that he knocked him out. I just remember screaming because I thought he had killed him.
At an earlier hearing, Doug was asked about Sully.
You also punched the dog the day that you discharged the firearm?
He jumped up. He's a big dog, and he jumped up in my lap. And yeah, I mean, I admit I hit him. I didn't hit him like you would, hit a punching bag or anything, but I hit him.
Taylor asked Ashley to tell jurors her version of the night she shot and killed Doug. Ashley testified that, as the couple packed for their move to Maryland, Doug became agitated because Ashley had insisted Doug get his own apartment.
I tried to change the subject. I could see how upset he was getting.
Ashley told jurors that Doug bumped into her and pushed a box into her side. She said he hit her in the face when she tried to leave. Then she said she ran into a bedroom where Doug followed her, and that is when she grabbed her nearby .45 caliber gun, one of 3 in the home.
I held the gun like in front of me, and I said, "Stop." And he turned and he got into this like a fighting stance. He started moving his arms and his hands around. He started coming towards me, and then he lunged at me, and I started pulling the trigger.
Ashley, tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury why you shot Doug.
I was scared to death. I thought he was gonna kill me.
As you sit here today, Ashley, how do you feel about what happened?
Horrible. He's the father of my child. So I'm gonna have to explain it all to her.
After a break, Ashley returned to the stand. Taylor then produced an old text from Doug's previous wife, Renee. It was undated, but Ashley said she found it on an old cell phone. He read aloud what Renee wrote to Doug.
I was deeply disappointed that you distorted the truth about who you really were when I married you. I loved you, though finding out you weren't really what you pretended to be. You kicking me so hard on New Year's Eve on our honeymoon because you were having trouble functioning in certain areas. You holding a gun to your head twice in my home.
When you hear that text message, it helps Ashley Benefield's case.
Criminal defense lawyer Matt Timpanek, who attended and followed this trial, says he feels that text supports Ashley's contention that Doug was abusive.
This isn't the first woman he has potentially abused.
Doug's divorce attorney, Stephanie Murphy, says she once asked Doug about that text, and he confirmed Renee had sent it to him.
Doug said that, yes, they had some struggles, and yes, there was an incident during their honeymoon, but it was not at all as Renee was describing it.
Ashley's lawyer ended her direct testimony.
Where was your firearm?
Ashley would now have to go head-to-head with lead prosecutor Suzanne O'Donnell, who had a surprise in store.
Judge, if I could have her step down so she can demonstrate.
CBS Mornings is clearly fun.
Money saving. Dollar Jill's here to tell us what it means for you.
Clearly delish.
So what's on the menu today?
Clearly, CBS Mornings weekdays at 7 on CBS.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
Write a prescription for the healing of America.
We're retired and this is our paradise.
Now it's gone.
You get the stories of America every night. You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
This is CBS.
I had progressively fallen deeper into the world of online sports betting.
The risk is the rush.
What do you think is driving the spike in popularity?
I think it's legality.
If it's legal, I'm going to use it. There are ways to bet when you are 18.
We've created an epidemic of child gambling.
You can't walk into a male dormitory in a college campus without sports betting happening.
It's America's most neglected problem.
I used sports betting as a way to escape, when in reality, I'm choosing self-destruction. Whatever I had left, it was gone.
The purpose of the industry is to get you to play to extinction. And that means until all your money is gone.
Go to the ends of the earth. We'll hit the heights. And reach for the stars.
Star power. I like it.
Ta-da!
I want to be part of this.
Because there's always something new under the sun on CBS Sunday morning.
You've probably heard of the NCIS from the hit TV series, but we're about to take you inside its real-life work. Listen to 48 Hours NCIS early and ad-free on the 48 Hours Plus subscription on Apple Podcasts.
Okay, let's go.
You guys good?
Start at the beginning.
All right, we good?
Keep going. It's the clock. It's ticking.
Off we go.
60 minutes. Is this what you want?
60 minutes.
60 minutes!
It's time for 60 Minutes, Sundays on CBS.
Good afternoon. We're back on the record in State versus Ashley Benefield.
Ashley Benefield walked back into courtroom 6A after a lunch break. She'd spent 2 hours that morning testifying about the alleged abuse at the hands of her husband, Doug.
State, you may begin your cross-examination.
But now, as she took the stand again,
I would like to just start with a couple of issues.
it was prosecutor Suzanne O'Donnell's turn. And Ashley admitted Doug never physically abused her before he allegedly hit her the night of the shooting.
Doug Benefield never punched you, ever. Correct?
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Doug Benefield never choked you ever.
No.
He never kicked you.
No.
The prosecutor called Ashley down from the witness stand to demonstrate what happened that night.
And I held the gun out in front of me and I said, stop. He got into this like fighting pose and he like turned sideways. And he was like moving around with his like arms in his hands. And he started like inching forward towards me.
I think it's invaluable in a case like this that the jury see what her version of events is. So he's standing there, he turns to like this and starts moving his arms around.
Like that.
Well, show me. What was he doing?
Kind of like, I really got like this. And he was like making like fighting motions. I don't know. I'm not a fighter. I don't know.
I don't know that it came off as genuine as she expected it to. We have to look at what she said versus the physical evidence and see if it matches.
And he lunged at me very quickly.
Okay, so he lunged. Was his fist up when he lunged?
I don't remember.
The state insists Ashley's story didn't match with the medical examiner's testimony that Doug was shot in the side. Doug's cousin Tommy agrees.
If Doug was really lunging at her the way she said, he would have been presenting the front of his body. That's not how he was shot.
She's the kind of person who eventually believes her own lies. But just because someone believes what they're saying doesn't make it true.
But the defense continued to portray the idea that Doug was abusive.
They made this all about Doug. They cast Doug in the worst possible light.
Did you counsel Douglas Benefield?
I did, yes. Both Ashley and Doug.
They called Dr. Jason Quintel, a trauma counselor who worked with the couple in the months before the shooting.
Doug occurred as someone who was domineering and at times would be super controlling.
Did you conclude whether there was an intimidation issue present?
Ashley stated that she was scared of Doug.
Mr. Taylor, call your next witness.
Defense calls Bruce Ferris.
Domestic violence expert Bruce Ferris met with Ashley after the shooting and said her behavior was consistent with having suffered abuse. He addressed that video of Ashley, her mother, and Doug laughing just a week before she killed him. Ferris said victims of domestic violence often appease their abusers to keep the peace.
We've all heard the term walking on eggshells. They're trying to avoid aggression by their partner because they've grown to believe that there's a threat here.
Taylor says Ashley was only pretending to get along with Doug so he wouldn't harm her or Emerson.
Are you saying to me that Ashley was like, I'll just sort of keep him happy so that he doesn't get violent with me?
That's exactly what I'm saying to you.
Domestic violence is absolutely a real problem. People that feel like they cannot get out, they have no way to get out. That is not this defendant.
But in closing arguments, Prosecutor O'Donnell told the jury Ashley was not afraid of Doug. Not the day of the video, and not the day she killed him.
She did not have to shoot him. She had an agenda, and it worked for what she wanted, and she got what she wanted. Sole custody of the child. And that's murder. Thank you.
But in his closing, Ashley's attorney reminded the jury Ashley spent years trying to get authorities to protect her and Emerson from Doug.
She filed complaint after complaint after complaint, calling Doug Benefield's behavior to the attention of the authorities, with no result.
He insisted Ashley only shot Doug because her life was in danger that night.
I've presented to you everything that I possibly could to show you what Ashley knew about Doug at the time they took place, to show you that her action in using deadly force was reasonable. We're confident you will return a verdict of not guilty in this case.
The jury began deliberating in the afternoon and continued late into the night. After nearly 7 hours,
I've been informed there's a verdict.
lawyers, friends, and family return to the courtroom to hear the jury's decision.
The defendant is guilty of manslaughter, a lesser included offense.
Guilty of manslaughter, but not second-degree murder.
Murder, too, requires some kind of intent. Manslaughter doesn't require that. It's more of heat of passion. The jury is essentially saying, we don't think she pre-planned this, but we also don't think she was justified in doing it.
Any conviction that will put Ashley in prison comes as a welcome relief to Doug's family and friends.
I also want to advise you.
The highlight of the trial for me personally was hearing the verdict read out loud. The second best thing was hearing the click of the handcuffs.
We are walking to my car from the courthouse.
Eva updated her followers about the verdict.
My dad got the justice that he deserves.
She's hoping one day to play a role in the life of Emerson, who is still being raised by Ashley's mother, Alicia.
I hope that one day she'll grow into a strong young woman and I'll be able to get to know her and explain to her who her father was and show her all the pictures and videos and just really tell her how life should have been.
Ashley faces up to 30 years in prison. State Attorney Ed Brodsky, who runs the prosecutor's office, says they will ask the judge to sentence her to the maximum.
This was an example of someone that wanted to take the law into her own hands, and that was the bridge that she crossed too far.
As the years have gone by and the colors fade, you see that she's actually the black swan and always has been.
I can only describe it as evil, something horrible.
From 48 Hours, this is Trained to Kill, the dog trainer, the heiress, and the bodyguard.
He couldn't control his obsession.
Who was the hunter and who was the hunted? Follow and listen on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
What happens when you get conversation over conflict?
Anyone that doesn't agree women should be in the submarine force has to ask themselves why they would think about that.
I think they've taught me to have grace and compassion.
When we follow the human side of the headline.
Life is a little bit different now.
It's gonna take a while to get used to. And I say it to myself that I can't make this about me.
When we put people before politics.
What would happen if it was harder for Mexican residents to come over to work in Presidio?
I think we'd be in serious trouble.
Are you okay, ma'am?
What happens when you experience the story?
I'm shocked at how devastated this neighborhood is. How bad is it in your house?
Look at it.
When news takes you where the story happens.
We've just crossed into Lebanon.
Here in Chicago.
Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania.
When the world's best journalists come together to cover your world, you get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
Ready?
Yeah.
Ready? And 1, 2, 3. Hey!
I can see clearly now.
Look at this outfit, baby. Give me some love, baby.
We got a toy. Look at this.
Oh, no! Time for another quick meal you can make any night of the week.
We've got tips to save on clothes, tech,
and more.
How I got here is nothing short of like a miracle.
Talent.
Talent.
It's gonna be alright.
It's a bright, bright, bright way to start your day.
See you
on CBS Mornings.
Here comes a big one.
What I've seen, it's like chaos.
This is the pager that Hezbollah was using.
How is this possible?
Oh, come on.
Come on.
Whoa.
Wow.
Ask me the hard-hitting questions. I'm open to all of it.
60 minutes. Is this what you want?
60 minutes.
60 minutes!
It's time for the CBS News original, 60 Minutes, Sundays on CBS.
That damn biological clock. It ticks in every woman's head.
Can women freeze their biological clock? 60 Minutes reports on the rise of egg freezing.
Money Watch is your no-nonsense guide to taking control of your finances, where I offer practical, real-world advice with no jargon and no judgment. I'm Jill Schlesinger. Listen to Money Watch wherever you get your podcasts.
Palm Beach is probably one of the richest places in the world.
Boy, these houses are unbelievable.
It's new money, Donald Trump, Howard Stern, old money, the Fords, the Dodge families. Here in Palm Beach, you're never at a loss for a story. My name is Jose Lambia, and I'm a gossip columnist. Back up. One of the biggest stories ever in Palm Beach was the Willie Kennedy Smith rape trial. He was cleared, by the way. And then Roxanne Pulitzer, a socialite, had a really sordid divorce. But in 1993, it was the image of an 11-year-old boy testifying about his dad's murder that really captured the public's imagination.
I was scared and confused.
911. Just been a shooting. Just been a shooting? Who was shot? Who was shot?
Jim Cooney, who was a lawyer, well-known, very popular in Palm Beach County, was killed by his ex-wife, Linda, in front of their 2 children.
My kids are in the closet. I got a gun.
Who is she when she arrives in Palm Beach?
She's a nobody. She's an ambitious nobody. So she shows up here, she marries this guy, she's instantly in the money. The Cooneys were amongst the most established families in the Palm Beach area. Great political connections, lawyers, doctors.
He tried to kill me. Who did? Jim Cooney. Please help me.
She shot him 3 times with a .357 Magnum. She claims it was self-defense.
That was an execution. After she had shot a couple times, she actually went up to him and fired off another round. Linda Cooney was charged with first-degree murder. Kevin's testimony was everything.
I was just hiding behind my bed.
He was the only eyewitness that we had.
Kevin's testimony exonerated his mother. So she was cleared of the murder in Florida, but guess what? 20 years later,
I was shocked.
She uses the same gun to shoot her son, Kevin.
I'm Richard Schlesinger. Tonight on 48 Hours.
Mommy Dearest.
What happens when reporters take you inside the story?
I've been asking for over 1.5 years for access into this place, and this is the first time we're getting it.
You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
This is CBS.
This is NCIS. You put on that uniform, you agree to protect the person next to you, no matter what. Welcome to Australia.
Match made in heaven.
Watch out! Are you hungry? Shout you a crock burger.
NCIS Sydney. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus. Returns CBS Fall.
I'm Erin Moriarty of 48 Hours, and of all the cases I've covered, this is the one that troubles me most. Listen to Murder in the Orange Grove, the troubled case against Crosley Green, wherever you get your podcasts.
Be in the know, even when you're on the go, with the CBS Mornings podcast.
Some news you can use at the grocery store.
Better mornings start better days.
When you look good, feel good, you do good.
That's right.
Listen to CBS Mornings on the go on Apple Podcasts.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
Write a prescription for the healing of America.
We're retired and this is our paradise.
Now it's gone.
You get the stories of America every night. You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
I can only describe it as evil.
Follow and listen to Train to Kill, The Dog Trainer, The Heiress, and The Bodyguard on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
My job can get dangerous sometimes, but I'm very good at what I do. I know you're scared. I'm here to help.
They said you were the best.
Your daughter hired me to bring you home. I made her promise I would never stop looking.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You hear about the reward?
Come here.
Okay.
Tracker, all episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
My son has a gunshot wound to the neck. Kevin, are you all right?
And how did he get this wound?
Please send some.
How did he get this wound?
With her handgun.
Did somebody else shoot him, or did he do it himself? Hello?
It was just after 8:30 a.m., and a frantic-sounding Linda Cooney was on the phone with Las Vegas police.
She didn't say that he had done it. She didn't say that she had done it. She didn't say that somebody else had done it.
Her 30-year-old son, Kevin, lay on the floor in a pool of blood.
Ma'am, where's the gun?
There were guns all over the house.
There was ammunition all over the floor.
Las Vegas detectives Robert Schmidt and Lance Landholm.
We had really no clue to what we had.
And it was hard to get anything much out of Linda, the 63-year-old former Palm Beach aspiring socialite.
She looked like a deer in a headlight.
Miss Cooney, are you aware that this is being tape recorded?
Yes, sir.
Detectives made this recording as they interrogated Linda on the scene.
Do you know how he got shot?
No.
Somebody had to have done this.
Did you shoot Kevin?
No.
How in the world did your son get shot when only you two were in the house?
I don't know.
You don't know, or you don't want to know?
Before being rushed to the hospital, Kevin told an officer the shooting was an accident. But that's not what detectives were hearing now.
Has he tried to hurt himself in the past? Has he ever tried to commit suicide in the past?
Never went through with it.
Okay, has he talked about it?
Yes.
The 11-year-old boy whose testimony once saved his mother from a murder conviction had grown up, according to Linda, into a troubled man. When he wasn't threatening to take his own life, she says he was threatening to take hers. And Linda says at 1 a.m. on June 28, 2011, Kevin attacked her.
She told us he came around from the corner. He grabbed me. He threw me down.
And she showed them a bruise on her chest to prove it.
He was dead.
She says they were arguing about Kevin's girlfriend, Karina Taylor.
She's an absolute psycho, and she will not leave Kevin alone. And Kevin is emotionally unstable as it is.
Linda told police when the fight was all over, she went to sleep. And later that morning, she discovered Kevin laying on the living room floor.
I did not hear a gunshot. That's the bizarre thing. I did not hear a gunshot.
She seemed like a person who was trying to cover up what had happened.
Either Kevin hurt himself or you shot him. And that's what we're here trying to figure out.
There was no one else to ask. Kevin was now unconscious, so detectives turned their attention to the best piece of evidence they had. That .357 Magnum.
Well, that's kind of strange.
To their astonishment, the gun that was used to shoot Kevin was the same gun Linda used to shoot and kill his father nearly 20 years earlier in Palm Beach.
The serial numbers were an exact match.
Is that surprising to you?
It shocked me to no end.
Las Vegas prosecutors Shannon Clowers and Michael Stodaher couldn't imagine why, after Linda Cooney was acquitted of killing her ex-husband, she wanted her gun back.
So you would think that that situation would be so traumatic for you that you would never want to see that weapon again.
We needed to dig a lot more into this.
They needed to know everything about what happened in Palm Beach to Linda's ex-husband, Jim.
There was only one person in this world who would shoot Jim, and it was Linda.
Jim's younger brother, Bob, says he never cared for Linda. Jim was the eldest of 8 kids in a prominent Palm Beach family. He grew up to be a well-liked attorney, but Linda was new to Palm Beach. She was a Midwesterner. Her family had a farm in Wisconsin.
Linda Cooney was an outsider whose goal in moving to South Florida was climb the social ladder. And with Jim Cooney, she got a way to do that.
They met at a party in Palm Beach.
It's champagne, caviar, you name it.
Jim's brother Bob worried, especially when he heard rumors of what this beautiful young woman did at her job. She was a legal secretary.
One of her roles at that law firm was to help entertain clients.
As a gentleman, may I assume that entertain was in quotes?
Yes.
But Jim ran off and married her, and they had 2 boys, Kevin and Christopher. But the marriage was not working.
If you talk to Linda, she'll tell you she considered herself to be an abused wife.
Linda filed a police report claiming he assaulted her. Jim filed for divorce.
She was a scary woman.
But even after the case was settled, the fighting continued.
That divorce was literally her worst-case scenario.
Linda wanted more money. Jim, his family says, wanted more time with his kids.
He would go to pick up the kids for his weekend, and they would not be there. But if Jim would give her some money, they might appear.
How much would she demand to see the kids?
Jim told me it was usually about $500.
Then, on February 7th, 1992, Jim arrived at Linda's house with a court order demanding she hand over Kevin and Christopher for a weekend visit.
If I shot at him, I don't know if I got him or not.
That was the last day of Jim Cooney's life.
He was laying on his back, deceased from multiple gunshot wounds. In his right hand, he was holding a kitchen knife.
Linda Cooney claimed Jim was coming at her with that knife and she shot him in self-defense. But Lieutenant Scott Smith did not believe her.
She had no marks, no scrapes, no nothing.
She was arrested and charged with first-degree murder.
Our main witness was Kevin Cooney.
Little Kevin Cooney saw his mother shoot his father.
Yes, it sounded loud.
And he was called to testify.
And your ears were ringing?
Yes.
He took the stand holding an action figure. Kevin told police his 8-year-old brother Chris was hiding in the closet while he was peeking out from a hole in his bedroom door.
I got really frightened, nervous, and scared.
He could see something in his father's hand before the shooting, but he wasn't sure it was a knife.
He said, could have been a key, could have been a knife, he didn't know.
But he did know for certain that after the shooting, his father's hand was empty.
Something just didn't seem right.
Police think Linda planted a knife in Jim's hand after she killed him to make it look like he was attacking her. With Jim dead, she'd have the kids all to herself.
The children were her lifeline.
The kids were the key to the riches of the Coonies.
Correct.
They were beneficiaries of Jim Cooney's $1 million life insurance policy. But it was the timing of this very dramatic 911 call that may be the most damning evidence.
He's trying to kill me! Please, he's got a knife!
Before Linda spoke to 911, she tried to call her friend, a lawyer.
What'd you make of that?
Strange.
And police say even before she was arrested, Linda began convincing Kevin that he saw that knife in his father's hand.
I think she had planted something in his head, and he knew he saw something.
You saw something in your dad's right hand?
Yes.
Was it dark or shiny?
It had a glary shine.
And while Kevin never testified that he actually saw his father wielding a knife, the implication was enough.
I think we lost the case at that point in time.
The defendant is not guilty.
It took the jury just hours to determine Linda Cooney was not guilty of murder.
Tonight on Hard Copy.
She gave only one sit-down television interview. It was to the tabloid program Hard Copy.
Is Linda Cooney a murderer?
No, I'm not. Definitely not.
What are you?
I'm a mother who defended herself and her children.
But not everyone in Palm Beach saw it that way.
She was always considered a murderer. She knew she had to start over.
So Linda packed up the boys and moved to Las Vegas.
She understood that you can move into Vegas and nobody's asking questions.
And no one did until police arrived at her home and discovered her son was the latest victim of that .357 Magnum.
What happens when you get conversation over conflict?
I think they've taught me to have grace and compassion.
When we follow the human side of the headline.
I'm not asking that we ignore disability, rather that we do not ignore ability.
When news takes you where the story happens.
We've just crossed into Lebanon.
When the world's best journalists come together to cover your world, you get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight. It's the most popular F word in Washington, fraud.
Is it true that the Social Security number of just about every single American is available for sale on the dark web?
An eye-opening 60 Minutes report.
That's chilling.
It's time for 60 Minutes.
Your life is still a mystery. When your gut tells you something fishy's going on, there's almost always a 4-day-old carp lying around somewhere. Finishing this is the only thing that's important to me. Either way, the truth is coming out.
Heading home? Who the hell are you, Madeline Matlock?
Matlock. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
Sunday morning, we hail a driverless taxi, plus billionaire Barry Diller's revealing new memoir, and when trash becomes art, this Sunday morning.
Politics isn't a game. When do consumers actually get to touch and feel a difference in their lives? Politics is about policy. So you would encourage Democrats to work with Donald Trump on an issue like healthcare? I'm a voracious consumer of information, and I'm impatient. I don't like to be spun. Do you know if there are active terror cells in the United States right now? To be moderator of Face the Nation means bringing the most powerful stakeholders to the table to become better informed.
It was almost like being face-to-face with the devil.
48 hours reports.
I fought and fought.
911, what is your emergency?
She disappeared off the face of the earth.
Stream 48 hours, 24/7.
Elspeth. Oh, I thought I saw you. And then I thought, well, who else could it be? Dressed as a member of the Lollipop Guild.
I work with the police. I like my outlandish theories with a heavy dose of evidence. Nice alibi, by the way.
Can you be careful with that?
Whoever did this is still out there. And I do love a mystery.
Elsbeth, all episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
After he was shot in the neck, Kevin Cooney lay partially paralyzed and unconscious, and no one could explain how he got shot, not even his mother.
Somebody has to tell the truth, and Linda Cooney wasn't doing that.
But 3 days later, Kevin woke up and told a story most people did not expect.
When he wakes up, the first conscious words are, "No, Mom, I'm afraid of Mom. Mom shot me."
We also have an unbiased witness.
Kevin was no longer saying it was an accident, and prosecutors say he repeated that statement, that his own mother shot him, to several nurses.
He was very anxious and appeared to be scared.
That did not surprise Kevin's girlfriend, Karina Taylor.
I've lived in fear of this woman for a very long time.
Karina began dating Kevin in 2011. She was a rising star in the mixed martial arts fighting world, while Kevin made good money as an amateur costume designer. But Karina says one thing Kevin couldn't mask was his fear of his mother.
He had told me she had issues with his girlfriends in the past and that she was crazy and that she didn't like when he would date people.
Karina says Linda never approved of her cage fighting or her background, especially the fact that Karina had once briefly worked at what is politely called a gentleman's club.
She told me that their family would never accept me and stay away from our family.
To make sure she got the message, Karina says Linda had given her a warning.
She had expressed to me that she carried a handgun in her purse at all times, and she wanted me to know that.
And the warning worked.
So you're a mixed martial arts fighter, and you were afraid of this woman?
Yes, I am not Superman, and I cannot bounce bullets off of my chest.
Linda Cooney is extremely dangerous.
Kevin's former girlfriend, Clarita Kendall, says she also felt threatened by Linda Cooney.
Kevin was doing his best to be the buffer between his mother and I, keeping me hidden.
That's because Clarita had received a call from Linda from out of nowhere.
It was one of the most bizarre conversations of my life. Immediately, she starts interrogating me about the relationship. She was asking me questions about my age. She's so verbally abusive. She calls me Shanghai Lily, Tokyo Rose. She calls me a gold digger. She tells me like I'm an Asian whore. And like I'm after this pot of gold that Kevin has.
And Clarita says after Linda made those angry calls, things got a lot scarier.
I was dropping Kevin off at his house, and Linda Cooney pulls up. She jumps out of the car, and she starts beating my car, kicking my car.
So she called the police.
Her name is Linda Cooney. She's right next to me. She won't let my car move. Listen. Sit here. I told you to stay away from that. Yes, your boyfriend is an ex-girlfriend, or no? This is his mother.
Throughout her relationship with Kevin, Clarita says she was forced to look over her shoulder.
She became obsessed with me. This was not stalking. She was hunting me. I wanted to believe that she was overprotective. I wanted to believe that the problem was my age.
And what was the problem?
That no one could have her son.
Prosecutors say after draining her ex-husband's $1 million life insurance policy, Linda was financially dependent on Kevin and his younger brother Christopher, a police officer. They both lived with her, and when Linda felt she was losing control of her sons, prosecutors say she'd put an end to their relationships.
Linda's
purpose was to make the women's lives so miserable that they would no longer want to be with Kevin.
But it wasn't working with Kevin's new girlfriend, Karina. Prosecutors say these Facebook messages suggest Kevin was finally ready to move out.
He says that he's got to be so careful about how he's going to separate himself from his mother. He's basically made the decision to leave.
He was becoming more defiant.
But the prosecutors say as Kevin got more defiant, Linda got more desperate. She sent these text messages to Karina's supervisor at a nonprofit where she volunteered.
What do those text messages say?
She's a succubus.
All these different things.
Succubus?
Yes.
We had to look it up.
Help me out.
It's a demon in female form who has sex with men in their sleep to manipulate them.
I wanted Kevin to just fix the situation.
And investigators believe that's what Kevin was doing with his mother the morning she shot him.
That was probably the final straw, that he told her, I'm out of here. And he meant it. She would not let him walk out that door.
What do you believe happened?
I believe that Kevin was downstairs, that she came down there with the .357, and she shot him.
There were a lot of guns in that house. Why do you think she used this one?
It's a powerful gun. She knows the effect of it is death.
And prosecutors say, just like in Palm Beach, Linda did not immediately call 911 for help.
It shows she wanted him to die.
Kevin was close to death, but Linda waited nearly 16 minutes before dialing 911. Phone records show her first call was to her other son, Chris.
It only became more and more apparent to us as the case went on that in fact she was guilty of this.
Nearly 3 months after Kevin's shooting, Linda Cooney was arrested and charged with attempted murder.
And then witness-wise?
Prosecutors were more than confident about their case against her.
We have Karina, Clarita, Nurse Luna, Nurse Johnson, Nurse Hatch, and Nurse Irvin, where Kevin makes the statements of, my mom shot me, I'm afraid of my mom, and then the forensic evidence and the physical evidence.
You're just bragging now.
I am.
But they still had one very big problem with their key witness, Kevin himself.
We really don't know what's going to come out of his mouth until it actually happens.
We're NCIS.
You guys want to see me do the cha-cha slide?
Can we get to the body, please?
Right.
Oh, what's got you so punchy lately?
Not punchy. Passionate. This is a great team for what? We're NCIS.
NCIS, all episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
No matter how you start your day, one thing is clear.
Actually, two things. Pretty sure it's three.
Guys, whether it's news, money, health, or wellness, sports, movies, or even inspiration.
Clearly, CBS Mornings is the place to be. That's like 7 things.
Okay, clearly, I'm bad at math, always been. Clearly, CBS Mornings, weekdays at 7 on CBS.
We can start whenever you're ready.
Ready?
Yeah. No, stop! Wrong pedal, wrong other pedal! Oh! He's in a wheelchair!
What do you want?
Come on, stop the car! That's a kid! Kid!
Did I pass?
Now serving 942.
Go to the ends of the earth.
We'll hit the heights.
A great adventure together.
And reach for the stars.
Star power. I like it.
So cool.
But wait, there's more.
Experience thought-provoking.
Something that's undeniable.
With mindfulness.
Innovative.
Magical.
It's like being a child.
And truly original reporting.
God, you do your research.
I tell a good story.
Because there's always something new under the sun on CBS Sunday morning.
Hi, CBS. I'm Tom Ellis. I can't wait for you to see my new show, CIA, coming CBS Fall.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
Write a prescription for the healing of America.
You get the stories of America every weeknight. You get the all-new CBS Evening News.
When everything's on the line, real heroes rise to the occasion. Or die trying.
We're firefighters. We're gonna find a way to get you out of here.
We take the hits together.
We're on the same team.
I'm right here with you, no matter what.
I would never leave you hanging in the deep end.
This place is a way of giving you new family.
Fire Country. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
She doesn't have any barriers that the rest of us have. Nobody knows how far she will go.
She's probably the most controlling and manipulative person that you could come across. She scares me.
She scares you? You're a prosecutor.
Yes.
4 months after a bullet was fired into Kevin Cooney's neck, two things were clear. Kevin would never walk again, and the case against Linda Cooney might never fly. Because Kevin had completely changed his story again. He was no longer blaming his mother for shooting him.
He says his mother and him were fighting, that he attacked his mother, and that it was an accident.
It was an accident.
Linda Cooney's attorney, Michael Becker, says none of this should be a surprise. It's similar to the story Kevin first told police, even before he went to the hospital, as he lay gravely wounded.
He believed he was dying, and I believe that it was a dying declaration. His intent was to go on the record and make sure if he didn't survive, that his mother would not be blamed.
So why would Kevin tell all those nurses he was afraid of his mother and she shot him?
I think that there are psychological explanations for why he would have been blaming Linda at that time.
Kevin was upset his mother was meddling in his relationship. But eventually, Becker says Kevin came to accept responsibility for the shooting.
He basically had said, I was an ass, and it was my fault.
There have been reports of violence in the Cooney home for years, and there were numerous calls to 911.
I think that there was a duality to Kevin. I think that away from the home, he was gregarious and friendly, but I think at home, he had a lot of anger.
Remember those Facebook messages Kevin sent to his girlfriend, Karina? He said he had to be careful, but he wanted to move away from his mother. Becker says a closer look reveals a different story.
You've got Facebook messages in print from Kevin where he's actively fantasizing about killing his mom.
After one argument with his mother just a few weeks before the shooting, Kevin wrote, I wanted to kill her.
He also said that he had spit in his mother's face and that he was about to crack.
If he is saying, I could kill my mother, doesn't that support the defense's argument that he came at her and was trying to kill her?
Sure, but you have to read the whole posting. If you read the next paragraph, and this is to Karina from Kevin, it says, honey, by the way, I'm just kidding.
I don't think that there's such thing as jestful conversation about killing your mother.
Becker says it was a hint of what was to come, a violent confrontation that ended with the shooting. His best evidence, the words of the victim, Kevin Cooney, which could be a problem for the prosecutors.
His first statement said it was an accident.
Correct.
Why is that not, in your mind, the most important statement that he makes? It's right at the time of the shooting.
That's one of the reasons we had to establish the relationship that him and his mom had.
They insist Kevin was terrified of his mother. Not only did Linda try to control who her sons dated, according to prosecutors, she controlled who they spoke to.
She put a child block on my phone number, so...
I'm sorry, she had control of the phone?
Yes.
And she blocked your number from his phone?
Correct.
And how old was he at the time, pardon me?
We had just turned 30.
She had the passwords. She was the one that could do the blocking of the texting or the phone calling. She controlled it. They had no control over it at all.
Does she love her kids, do you think?
Yes, but not appropriately. They need to grow up, make their own decisions, have bedroom doors, be able to...
They don't have bedroom doors?
No.
No.
The boys' bedrooms had no bedroom doors.
And I think it's telling because Michael and I call them boys, and I don't think we do it intentionally. They're men, they're grown men, and yet the way they're treated are like boys.
And prosecutors believe it's been that way since that horrible moment when they were boys and Kevin saw his mother shoot his father. Prosecutors suspect Linda convinced Kevin back then that Jim would have killed them all had she not shot him first, and that Kevin believes he owes his mother his life.
It's been going on for so long. The brainwashing, the manipulation, the control has happened since they were essentially little boys.
There has to be a psychological control that she had over them that we as normal people don't even understand and can't really comprehend.
But Linda's lawyer is either very perceptive or extremely creative, because he will argue Linda's parenting style could be her best defense.
If Linda is strange, isn't that why Kevin snapped? Because he was tired of dealing with his strange mom. And I don't deny that Linda is strange, or perhaps Linda's a lot strange. But does that mean that she shot her son?
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
This was an entire building. It will take years to rebuild.
We're from CBS News, American television.
You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
This case.
It's like a screenplay, something straight out of Hollywood.
But it's not fiction. It's 48 hours.
Human remains found this week.
4 families shattered.
There's no physical evidence.
The mystery would haunt investigators for years.
There's some questions that have to be asked and need to be answered.
Like a John Grisham novel.
A gripping true crime original. 48 hours. Now streaming on the free CBS News app.
No matter how you start your day, one thing is clear.
CBS Mornings is the best way to start your day.
I can see clearly now.
My morning routine.
The first thing I do when I wake up is turn off the alarm.
I try to remember where I put my phone down.
One alarm goes off at 4 a.m.
I need not 1, not 2, but...
And I'm out the door at 4:15.
3 snoozes to get out of bed fully coherent.
How much detail are you looking for?
I love a bath full of bubbles. The more bubbles, the better.
I'm very quick with the actual coffee, shave, shower, dressed out the door, but all around that is just pure chaos. For example, this morning, these are dirty socks.
You want my honest answer? Am I a morning person? I gotta be honest. I wish mornings started at like 10 a.m. Can I say that? Clearly.
It's a bright, bright, bright way to start your day. CBS Mornings weekdays at 7 on CBS.
People with developmental disabilities were once sequestered by the hundreds of thousands in institutions.
Many of our fellow citizens are suffering tremendously because lack of attention, lack of imagination, lack of adequate manpower.
Disability activists have since torn down barriers blocking them from living at home or in the community.
We conclude that Title II of the ADA requires states to provide community-based treatment for persons with mental disabilities.
But of the 16,000 people who remain in state-operated institutions, half are in 5 states, and Illinois is one of them.
I don't want to live in the institution. It makes me feel discriminated against.
Do you think there are people living in institutions in Illinois that don't need to be living there?
Yeah, because they're proving it as soon as they get out.
What happens when we follow the human side of the headline?
I was in tears.
Life is a little bit different now.
It's gonna take a while to get used to. And I said it to myself that I can't make this about me.
you get the all-new CBS Evening News.
The State of Nevada plaintiff versus Linda Cooney defendant.
On April 8, 2014, more than 20 years after being acquitted of murdering her ex-husband, Linda Cooney is back in court.
All right, the jury.
This time for the attempted murder of her son, Kevin, who was shot and left partially paralyzed.
Linda Cooney, the woman sitting right over there, will use fear, intimidation, manipulation, control.
Prosecutor Michael Stoddard opens the state's case.
And one of the things that you'll hear that Linda Cooney wants is exclusive control of her children.
The state would do everything possible to make you not like Linda Cooney.
But defense attorney Michael Becker argues Linda Cooney is not the mother of the year, but she would never try to kill her son.
Kevin was to blame for his own injuries.
The state calls Christopher Cooney. He's 30 years old, Kevin's brother, Linda's younger son. Under oath, he will have to detail what he and his mother talked about on the phone just minutes after the shooting.
I was trying to ask the questions like, where is he hit? What the hell happened? And I couldn't get a response from her.
He was finishing his shift as a police officer when his mother called him instead of 911. Their conversation lasted nearly 16 minutes, and all the while, Kevin lay dying. Prosecutors hope to show the jury that Linda delayed calling 911, but they say Chris was determined to put all the blame on his brother.
If Kevin was upset or depressed because of whatever relationship woe he had, he would certainly carry it out on us.
Chris described his brother as hostile and violent, with a history of losing his temper at home. And then Chris testified that before trial began, his mother told him exactly what happened right before the shooting.
He was in a full-blown rage, and he struck her. She did say that Kevin was threatening to kill her.
According to Chris, the loaded .357 was always kept on the living room floor for home protection. Chris says his mother told him she believed Kevin was going for the gun, so she grabbed it first and ran for the door. And that's when Kevin pried it from her.
The next thing she knew was bang. And Kevin went down.
Linda claimed she never even pointed the gun at Kevin, and she did not fire it that morning.
I don't buy that Linda shot her son. I don't think there's any motive.
Well, the argument was he was going to move out. She didn't want to lose him. And it was the old, if I can't have him, nobody can have him motive.
I suppose that may work in the movie theater. I find it hard to believe.
Becker is hoping the jury feels the same way when they hear from Kevin himself.
Mr. Cooney, can you hear me?
Yes.
Kevin first testified from his hospital bed. Remember when you listen to him that he's a witness for the prosecution.
I was just in a rage. I was just so angry that night.
As his mother looks on, Kevin takes all the blame for the shooting.
I just beat the out of her. I beat her up. I told her I was going to kill her. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry.
Prosecutors have told the jury Linda needs to control her sons. But Kevin says he was in control in the house, not his mother.
I tell Mom what to do. Mom's the kid in this relationship, not me. Mom does what I say, or else Mom gets the fist. That's the way it works.
He is wanting to make it so much better for his mom that what does he do? He goes to the extreme to try to get the jury to believe that he's this monster man.
Right. Show me with your hand the exact position of the gun.
This right here.
Look at how Kevin demonstrates how he held the gun. Prosecutors say if he held it that way, the gun would have been fired at an upward angle. But the state's medical expert says the bullet was fired at a downward angle.
It was slightly downward and slightly to the left.
In all, the state called 26 witnesses, including nurses, who testified that Kevin was afraid of his mother.
You don't want to see your mother anymore, was the first question I asked him, and he said no. He said, because she shot me.
And prosecutors were allowed to tell the jury that Linda was acquitted of murdering her ex-husband more than 20 years ago, and that the same gun was used to shoot Kevin.
State calls Clarita Kendall to the stand.
But the state saved their most critical witness for the last day.
He had something he had to tell me that he felt was very urgent.
Kevin's ex-girlfriend, Clarita Kendall, testified that she visited Kevin and he told her what happened when he was shot.
Does he indicate at any time that she picked up or had a gun in her hand?
It was in her waistband. He said he started arguing with his mom, and he was sitting on the couch.
Kevin never said it was an accident. Instead, Clarita testified that Kevin told her he was sitting down when he was shot. And that could explain why the bullet was fired at a downward angle.
What did you think when you heard that?
I said, bingo. That's the story, and it matches the physical evidence.
I don't believe it.
But what matters is, will the jury believe it?
Next witness.
Becker has a way to counter Clarita's testimony, and it's not what anyone expected.
You do solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you.
Yes.
Kevin Cooney is called to testify in person, this time as a defense witness.
Were you expecting Kevin to come back as a...
No.
This has got to be the first time I've ever seen a prosecution witness become a defense witness within a couple of days.
No, it was completely unexpected.
It was just like years ago when Kevin testified at his mother's murder trial, and now he could save her again.
She got a hold of that gun. I got a hold of it, and I jerked it up away from her.
Which way was this gun pointed when it was fired?
Down.
Downward. Do you remember testifying Monday that it was pointed upwards?
No.
Prosecutors, it was clear that Kevin had changed his testimony to protect his mother.
Your hopes of being released from the hospital, do you also hope that your mom will be there to take care of you?
She can't possibly take care of me.
You want her there, though, don't you?
You know, I don't know how my mom feels about me at this point.
What if she still loves you? Would you want her around?
I certainly would like her around, yeah.
Is that why the angle of the trajectory has somehow changed from Monday to Friday?
What?
He loves his mother that much. He wants her back, which is his bias on that stand.
Linda Cooney never testified, so jurors had only Kevin's first-hand version or versions of what happened. Which side does he help? In closing arguments, both sides want the jury to believe Kevin.
Somebody, when dying, will speak the truth. That's what Kevin was doing when he said it was an accident.
When he wakes up, his first conscious words are what? I'm afraid of Mom. No, Mom, she shot me.
In the last few hours of this trial, the lawyers have to define Linda Cooney. Is she a victim, as the defense says?
Linda had injuries that were inconsistent with anything other than having been attacked.
She controlled the phone. They had no bedroom doors.
Or is she a controlling, possessive, vindictive mother who would do anything to dominate her children, even at their own expense?
She's not going to lose Kevin to that succubus. Nobody is going to have him if she can't keep him.
CBS Mornings is clearly fun.
Money saving. Dollar Jill's here to tell us what it means for you. Clearly delish. So what's on the menu today?
Clearly, CBS Mornings weekdays at 7 on CBS.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
Write a prescription for the healing of America.
We're retired and this is our paradise.
No, it's gone.
You get the stories of America every night. You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
This is CBS.
I had progressively fallen deeper into the world of online sports betting.
The risk is the rush. What do you think is driving the spike in popularity? I think it's legality.
If it's legal, I'm going to use it. There are ways to bet when you are 18.
We've created an epidemic of child gambling.
You can't walk into a male dormitory in a college campus without sports betting happening.
It's America's most neglected problem.
I used sports betting as a way to escape, when in reality, I'm choosing self-destruction. Whatever I had left, it was gone.
The purpose of the industry is to get you to play to extinction. And that means until all your money is gone.
Go to the ends of the earth. We'll hit the heights. And reach for the stars.
Star power. I like it.
Ta-da!
I want to be part of this.
Because there's always something new under the sun on CBS Sunday morning.
You've probably heard of the NCIS from the hit TV series, but we're about to take you inside its real-life work. Listen to 48 Hours NCIS early and ad-free on the 48 Hours Plus subscription on Apple Podcasts.
Okay, let's go.
You guys good?
Start at the beginning.
All right, we good?
Keep going. It's the clock. It's ticking.
Off we go.
60 minutes. Is this what you want?
60 minutes.
60 minutes!
It's time for 60 Minutes, Sundays on CBS.
I got the call, and I just looked at him, and I'm like, we have a verdict.
It was just like the Florida case 21 years earlier. The jury came back with a verdict in Linda Cooney's latest trial in less than a day. Way less.
I was shocked at roughly an hour.
You may be seated.
In fact, the jurors spent about as much time eating lunch as they did deliberating.
Has the jury reached a verdict?
Yes, it has.
Neither side knew what to expect. The verdict would likely depend on which version of Kevin Cooney's story the jury would believe.
Right, I put it about here.
The clerk will now read the verdict aloud.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Linda Cooney, guilty of attempt murder.
Guilty. The jury did not believe Kevin when he said he shot himself by accident. And there were a number of other charges against Linda Cooney. The jury found her guilty of battery with a deadly weapon, guilty of intimidating Kevin before he testified, and guilty of stalking Kevin's girlfriend, Karina Taylor. Linda's attorney says he knows exactly when he lost the case.
I knew going into the case that when the jury heard about Florida 20 years ago, that was going to be the single most devastating blow to the defense. My hunch is that the jurors probably felt that whatever happened in Florida, she must have gotten away with something.
Nearly 3 months later, Linda went back to court for her sentencing. The other women in Kevin's life, Karina and Clarita, were also there, and so was Linda's son, Chris.
Dr. Cooney, if you come to the witness stand, please be sworn.
Jim Cooney's brother, Bob, was there to remind the judge of everything he says Linda did to his family.
Linda subjected my family to harassment, threats, injuries, and death.
And he warned the judge that his nephew Kevin could still be in danger if Linda is ever released.
Imagine the potential ongoing abuse that Kevin might be subjected to, inherent with visits from his mommy dearest.
Kevin didn't come to the sentencing, but he sent this note defending his mother, saying, "My mother has been wrongly accused and convicted of crimes she did not commit. It was by my own actions that I find myself in my present condition. My mother is unjustly incarcerated." And then, at last, Linda spoke.
I was a battered wife. My sons were battered as well. I have done my best to raise, educate, and protect my sons as a single mother.
But Linda blamed it all on Kevin.
Unfortunately, my son Kevin carried with him an anger and rage disorder that he must have inherited from his father. Yet I always protected, defended, and loved my son, and I would never have intentionally harmed him. What happened was his fault. It was an accident. Please have mercy on me, Your Honor.
Clearly, prosecutors don't have mercy in mind.
This woman is a clear and present danger to everyone in society and anyone that crosses her path. If there was a woman who was deserving of the maximum sentence on all charges, this woman is it.
The judge didn't go that far. She sentenced Linda Cooney to 13 to 40 years in prison.
You think that even with her in prison, conceivably for the rest of her life, they'll still be tied to her?
One would hope that they could break off and live their own lives. Whether it can happen or not with her, I don't know.
Do you still think about your nephews who you haven't seen, I guess, since that trial?
Yes, I think about them all the time.
Bob Cooney would like to help his nephews and wants to be sure Kevin gets the medical care he'll need for the rest of his life.
My brother would have done it. I hope there's some things that I can do to help this story. It's not going to have a happy ending, but maybe I can make it a little bit happier than it might be otherwise.
Okay, so let's just start at the beginning.
Well, let me start with this. What is at stake here?
What is the answer then?
Do you know why? You want me to just keep going?
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Were there death threats?
How is this possible?
What's wrong with that argument?
Are you saying they lied?
Have you told the government that?
Why won't you say the word crisis?
You're not answering my question.
This really
Is that scary?
Does that make sense?
What do you mean?
What does that mean in English? Did any of that make sense?
What's
your response?
What happened?
Why?
It's time for the CBS News Original 60 Minutes, Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
There is no more room in our city.
New York City is receiving record numbers of migrants.
Today, we're going to have more than 500 adults and children come through that door.
Tensions rise as shelters reach max capacity.
We don't have to take care of them.
CBS Reports goes inside a crisis cities and families are facing as they fight to survive.
The United States still has that glimmer of hope for people to come here.
Fighting for a future. Now streaming on the free CBS News app.
This case.
It's like a screenplay, something straight out of Hollywood.
But it's not fiction. It's 48 hours.
Human remains found this week.
4 families shattered.
There's no physical evidence.
The mystery would haunt investigators for years.
There's some questions that have to be asked and need to be answered.
Like a John Grisham novel.
A gripping true crime original, 48 Hours, now streaming on the free CBS News app.
I'm John Dickerson.
I'm Maurice Dubois.
Part of the all-new CBS Evening News.
Money Watch is your no-nonsense guide to taking control of your finances, where I offer practical, real-world advice with no jargon and no judgment. I'm Jill Schlesinger. Listen to Money Watch wherever you get your podcasts.
For the last 13 years, I've been looking for the truth to what happened to my daughter. It gets easier.
Hey, sweetie.
Time heals,
Here you go, girl.
but it never goes away.
We have pictures of her still in diapers sitting right in front of me on a horse and her holding the reins with a big grin on her face.
She just always believed one person could make a difference. Tough. This gal was so tough. Rhonda was the youngest female trooper ever hired in the state of Washington.
Rhonda was a beautiful lady. I loved her a lot.
With Ron Reynolds, she had found the love of her life.
But she had a lot of things going on under the surface, so she would go into kind of a depressive state. There were some days where I saw her where she had a hard time getting out of bed in the morning.
December 16th, 1998. My life was changed. It's forever changed with one fleeting moment, one gunshot. Forever changed.
I pushed the door open enough to get my arm in, and at that point I found her, and it was just the biggest shock of my life. I saw that she had shot herself in the head.
The official ruling of the coroner was suicide. I had so many questions that had remained unanswered.
The first time I heard about Rhonda Reynolds' death, I felt a tingling at the back of my neck. Something wasn't right. My name is Ann Rule. I've written over 30 true crime books. As I have often written, there is indeed such a thing as the perfect murder. She never saw danger coming.
I believe beyond any reasonable doubt that someone in that house killed my daughter.
I loved her right up to the end.
I won't stop until I know the truth.
I'm Peter Van Sant. Tonight on 48 Hours, mystery on Twin Peaks Drive.
What happens when reporters take you inside the story?
I've been asking for over a year and a half for access into this place, and this is the first time we're getting it.
You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
This is CBS.
NCIS. You put on that uniform, you agree to protect the person next to you, no matter what. Welcome to Australia.
Match made in heaven.
Watch out! Hey, hungry? Shout you a crock burger.
NCIS Sydney. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus. Returns CBS Full.
I'm Erin Moriarty of 48 Hours, and of all the cases I've covered, this is the one that troubles me most. Listen to Murder in the Orange Grove, the troubled case against Crosley Green, wherever you get your podcasts.
Be in the know, even when you're on the go, with the CBS Mornings podcast.
Some news you can use at the grocery store.
Better mornings start better days.
When you look good, feel good, you do good.
That's right.
Listen to CBS Mornings on the go on Apple Podcasts.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
Write a prescription for the healing of America.
We're retired and this is our paradise. Now it's gone.
You get the stories of America every night. You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
I can only describe it as evil.
Follow and listen to Train to Kill, The Dog Trainer, The Heiress, and The Bodyguard on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
My job can get dangerous sometimes, but I'm very good at what I do. I know you're scared. I'm here to help.
They said you were the best.
Your daughter hired me to bring you home. I made her promise I would never stop looking.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You hear about the reward?
Come in.
Okay. Tracker. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
Easy.
Barb Thompson has lived on this farm in Spokane, Washington, breeding horses for more than 30 years. She was just 19 when Rhonda was born. Barb's husband left 3 years later, leaving the newly single mom with an energetic little girl to raise.
We got her a pony. She was just hell on wheels. Then she went to the bigger horses and jumping.
It's a place where Barb draws strength, but one she's had to leave over and over as she tries to unravel the mystery of her daughter's death. December 16th, 1998, Toledo, Washington. Rhonda Reynolds, then 33 years old, was discovered in her home on Twin Peaks Drive, dead of a gunshot wound to the head. Her death was ruled a suicide, but one person wasn't buying it.
It was suicide from the beginning. They already had it labeled. But there's something inside of you that says something's wrong. I was going to find the truth, whatever that truth was.
On this particular day in October 2011, Barb is stopping in Seattle to pick up an old friend.
Here we go again. You're gonna drive?
Best-selling true crime writer Ann Rule. They're an unlikely duo who never would have met had it not been for Rhonda's troubling death.
I remember hearing it on the radio that December in 1998, and it just hit me wrong then. I thought, this isn't quite right. And then Barb called me in the first year.
Just called you out of the blue?
Oh, yeah.
Barb convinced the world-famous author to join her in investigating Rhonda's death.
Yeah, I feel like an attorney.
It took 10 years of intense legal wrangling, But finally, in 2011, a coroner's inquest was launched.
Madam Clerk, would you please call the next witness?
To decide once and for all
That would have been like this.
if Rhonda's death was a suicide or a homicide. Barb says the daughter she raised could never have taken her own life.
I know my child. I know her zest for life.
Rhonda's zest for life would end up leading her down an unusual path.
She must have been 4 or 5 years old when I realized that her one dream in life was law enforcement.
Rhonda was just 22 when she achieved her dream, becoming a State Patrol trooper. Just a year after joining, Rhonda married ex-Marine and fellow trooper Mark Liberty.
Mark was a single parent with 3 children, and she fell in love with these 3 children.
But in 1994, Rhonda Reynolds' life suddenly began to unravel. Injured on the job, Rhonda was accused of taking both disability and her regular pay. Rhonda claimed it was all an innocent mistake.
But sadly, it left a black mark on her name.
She eventually resigned her dream job.
During this time, her marriage was going downhill with Mark Liberty.
Rhonda and Mark sought counseling through their Jehovah's Witness church, where the elder was none other than Ron Reynolds.
And is it true you were a marriage counselor to them at one point?
That's true.
Ron and his own wife, Catherine, were splitting up. And in the most unlikely of twists, counselor and counselee started their own romance.
Rhonda just called me up one day telling me that she really liked me and she wanted to see me, and so from then on we started a relationship.
You fell in love with her?
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
And in January 1998, just 5 weeks after her divorce from Mark was finalized, Rhonda and Ron were married. With her new husband came 5 stepsons. 2 of Ron's boys were full-blown teenagers, including 16-year-old Jonathan.
I mean, it was a new mom in our house and everything, and there wasn't a lot of lovey-dovey stuff going on, but she was really friendly with us.
The family settled into a new home with spectacular views of the Twin Peaks, Mount Rainier, and Mount St. Helens. Ron was principal of the local elementary school. But just months after marrying, the relationship started to strain.
She was running up a credit card bill over $20,000, probably around 25.
She'd used your credit card without your knowledge.
She took out the credit cards in my name without my knowledge, so it was actually a case of forgery.
Feeling betrayed, Ron demanded a divorce. But Rhonda told her mom an entirely different story.
6 or 7 months into the new marriage, that he was back seeing and having an affair with his ex-wife.
Is that true?
Along about November, I did see Catherine a couple times.
By mid-December 1998, after just 11 months of marriage, Ron and Rhonda were through. Rhonda packed up her belongings and made plans to fly home to Spokane.
Let's go.
What were her last words to you?
I love you. See you tomorrow.
But the next day, instead of a visit from her daughter, Barb received a chilling message to call the Lewis County Coroner's Office.
She said, I need to inform you that your daughter has committed suicide. So sadly, you put yourself in a mode of what you have to do.
Stunned by the news, Barb raced to Ron's house in Toledo.
He started out telling me that Rhonda was a very sadistic, cruel person.
Was he devastated by Rhonda's death?
No.
He's not showing any remorse to you? Are there any tears?
No.
And then, out of the bedroom, walked Ron's ex-wife in a bathrobe.
She spent the night with Rhonda's husband in Rhonda's bed 12 feet away from where her body laid.
You'd been told it was a suicide. What do you think to yourself at that moment?
At that point, I knew he had killed my child.
What happens when you get conversation over conflict?
I think they've taught me to have grace and compassion.
When we follow the human side of the headline.
I'm not asking that we ignore disability, rather that we do not ignore ability.
When news takes you where the story happens.
We've just crossed into Lebanon.
When the world's best journalists come together to cover your world, you get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight. It's the most popular F word in Washington, fraud.
Is it true that the Social Security number of just about every single American is available for sale on the dark web?
An eye-opening 60 Minutes report.
That's chilling.
It's time for 60 Minutes.
Your life is still a mystery.
When your gut tells you something fishy's going on, there's almost always a 4-day-old carp lying around somewhere. Finishing this is the only thing that's important to me. Either way, the truth is coming out.
Heading home? Who the hell are you, Madeline Matlock?
Matlock. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
Sunday morning, we hail a driverless taxi, plus billionaire Barry Diller's revealing new memoir, and when trash becomes art, this Sunday morning.
Politics isn't a game. When do consumers actually get to touch and feel a difference in their lives? Politics is about policy. So you would encourage Democrats to work with Donald Trump on an issue like healthcare? I'm a voracious consumer of information, and I'm impatient. I don't like to be spun. Do you know if there are active terror cells in the United States right now? To be moderator of Face the Nation means bringing the most powerful stakeholders to the table to become better informed.
It was almost like being face-to-face with the devil.
48 hours reports. I fought and fought.
911, what is your emergency?
She disappeared off the face of the earth.
Stream 48 hours, 24/7.
Elspeth! Oh, I thought I saw you. And then I thought, well, who else could it be? Dressed as a member of the Lollipop Guild.
I work with the police. I like my outlandish theories with a heavy dose of evidence. Nice alibi, by the way.
Can you be careful with that?
Whoever did this is still out there. And I do love a mystery.
Elsbeth. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
Starting almost from the moment she learned of her daughter's death, Barb Thompson set out on a mission.
I had to become my own detective. I had to meet with attorneys, to meet with members of the sheriff's department, looking for anything and everything to force them to reopen Rhonda's case.
And helping her is Ann Rule, who has written a best-selling book about Rhonda's case. Today, they're arriving together at the site of the inquest, Chehalis, Washington.
We were like a slightly older Cagney and Lacey.
CSI Chehalis, right?
Yeah, CSI Chehalis, yep.
Was this suicide or homicide?
It was homicide. Absolutely homicide.
Given Ron's troubled marriage to Rhonda and the cheating he admits to with his ex-wife.
This is the pistol in the holster that Rhonda killed herself with. I think it's a .32 caliber.
Both Ann and Barb believe Ron Reynolds and his son Jonathan are hiding something.
Did you murder your wife, Rhonda Reynolds?
Absolutely not.
Did you put a gun to her head while she was sleeping, pull the trigger?
Absolutely not. There's no evidence for these wild accusations.
I want people to know that we're innocent. And we've been hurt by a suicide in our family.
Ron says that on the morning Rhonda was due to move out for good, he awakened in their bed alone.
I saw she wasn't there beside me.
He searched the house, making his way to a walk-in closet off the master bathroom.
And I found her, and it was just the biggest shock of my life.
What did you see?
Well, I picked the pillow up and looked, and I saw that she had shot herself in the head.
Ron Reynolds had called 911 that morning and advised them that his wife had committed suicide.
Detective Jerry Berry of the Lewis County Sheriff's Department was one of the first to see the unusual death scene.
She was lying on her left side with her hands kind of pulled up like this in what appeared to be a natural sleeping position. It was what I call a semi-fetal position. Her knees were pulled up slightly, and she was covered with an electric blanket.
It appeared that at some point during the night, Rhonda had gone off to sleep in the closet, something she would do, her mother says, when she was upset.
I noticed that the bed appeared to have been slept in only on one side. And I went into the bathroom, and then right to the right there was a large mirror, and I observed a message written in lipstick that said, "I love you, please call me."
That doesn't sound like a note that would be left by someone who's about to blow their brains out.
That's absolutely not a suicide note at all.
But Ron Reynolds says Rhonda was depressed that night.
He told me that he stayed awake and he tried to keep her awake so she wouldn't commit suicide.
Exhausted, Ron told Detective Berry he fell asleep around 5 in the morning and never heard a gunshot.
Ron, you know a lot of people simply do not believe you, that you didn't hear that gunshot.
Well, I'm not sure even what time I went to sleep, but I know I'd had a very long, trying day, and when I went to sleep, I probably slept hard.
Detective Berry noticed that the gun was positioned near Rhonda's left hand. On a hunch, he had a deputy ask Ron if Rhonda was right or left-handed.
And he came back and he said he got really nervous when I asked him that question, and he said he didn't know.
In fact, Rhonda was right-handed.
I never had noticed for sure.
You understand that's really odd.
Yeah, I understand that's odd, but to tell you the truth, I was afraid to say the wrong thing. I was being made to feel like I was a big suspect.
Jonathan Reynolds was 17 years old when Rhonda died. Barb says the two had a stormy relationship.
Rhonda caught Jonathan coming into the bathroom while she was showering, pulling open the curtain to look at her naked in the shower. About the third time he did that, she just came out of the shower naked, took him down and took him in front of his father and said, "This has got to stop." Jonathan was extremely angry and threatening and threatened to kill her at that point.
Yeah, that's lies. All of it.
The shower incident never happened?
The shower incident never happened. It's ridiculous.
Jonathan and his two younger brothers lived with Ron and Rhonda. They all say they learned of Rhonda's death when they woke up that morning. Police sent all three to their mother's house a short time later without questioning them.
How would you describe the investigation done after Rhonda Reynolds' body was discovered?
Probably the worst crime scene investigation I know about, that, I really looked into.
It was terrible, quite frankly.
Detective Sergeant Glade Austin was Jerry Berry's boss at the time and surprisingly agrees with Ann Rule's assessment.
There was no video taken of this. And the next step would normally be to do a full diagram. That wasn't done.
Even worse, one of the first policemen on the scene made an enormous mistake, moving the gun before any photos were taken. Still, Barry says that doesn't change what he observed.
It was most likely a staged crime scene. That is, it had been murder. It had been made to look like a suicide by someone.
As for Ron Reynolds,
throughout the investigation, I never saw him display any emotions. I attended the funeral service. He sat with his ex-wife at the funeral service. No emotions, none whatsoever.
a divide was now growing between Barry, who believed it was a murder, and his boss, Glade Austin, who says Reynolds' demeanor wasn't strange at all.
I picture that he might not have been as emotionally involved in that relationship at that point to show a lot of reaction.
In spite of the mistakes made during the investigation, Austin says the final decision to close the case as a suicide was correct.
I can only tell you what my instincts, my training, and my years of experience tell me.
Now, the mystery of Rhonda's death is finally going before a jury.
Barb called me and said, there's going to be a coroner's inquest, and she was so excited, and I was excited.
And Barb's questions will be answered once and for all.
Ladies and gentlemen on the jury, you have been summoned here to inquire into the death of Rhonda Reynolds.
We're NCIS. Do you guys want to see me do the cha-cha slide?
Can we get to the body, please?
Right.
Oh, what's got you so punchy lately?
Not punchy. Passionate.
This is a great team.
For what? We're NCIS.
NCIS, all episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
No matter how you start your day, one thing is clear.
Actually, two things. Pretty sure it's three.
Guys, whether it's news, money, health, or wellness, sports, movies, or even inspiration.
Clearly, CBS Mornings is the place to be. That's like 7 things.
Okay, clearly, I'm bad at math, always been. Clearly, CBS Mornings, weekdays at 7 on CBS.
We can start whenever you're ready. Ready? Yeah. No, stop! Wrong pedal, wrong other pedal! Oh! He's in a wheelchair! What do you want? God, stop the car! That's a kid! Kid! Did I pass?
Now serving 942.
Go to the ends of the earth.
We'll hit the heights.
A great adventure together.
And reach for the stars.
Star power. I like it.
So cool.
But wait, there's more.
Experience thought-provoking.
Something that's undeniable.
With mindfulness.
Innovative.
Magical.
It's like being a child.
And truly original reporting.
God, you do your research. I tell a good story.
Because there's always something new under the sun on CBS Sunday morning.
Hi, CBS. I'm Tom Ellis. I can't wait for you to see my new show, CIA, coming CBS Fall.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
Write a prescription for the healing of America.
You get the stories of America every weeknight. You get the all-new CBS Evening News.
When everything's on the line, real heroes rise to the occasion. Or die trying.
We're firefighters. We're gonna find a way to get you out of here.
We take the hits together.
We're on the same team.
I'm right here with you, no matter what.
I would never leave you hanging in the deep end.
This place is a way of giving you new family.
Fire Country. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
The purpose of any hearing, fact-finding, or investigation is one thing, and that is the truth.
In the 13 long years since her daughter's death, Barb Thompson had dedicated her life for this day.
What are your hopes as this is about to begin?
That the jury gets to hear the evidence that's out there, they get to hear everything and the truth, and they come to an honest verdict.
The standard of beyond a reasonable doubt that is required in criminal courts does not apply here in this inquest.
Lewis County Coroner Warren McLeod presides over an inquest to determine, if possible, whether Rhonda Reynolds' death was suicide or homicide.
There may be testimony that would be considered hearsay in a criminal proceeding, but will be allowed on a limited basis in this inquest.
A coroner's inquest is not a trial. There's no judge, no attorneys. The coroner presents evidence and questions the witnesses. A 5-person jury then decides the manner of death, and if it's homicide, they can name who's responsible. An arrest warrant is then issued.
You will hear from an array of expert witnesses that examined evidence collected from the scene.
But there are some key witnesses the jury won't be hearing from. Ron and his 3 youngest sons have refused to testify.
A person has a right to invoke their Fifth Amendment rights without having the jury see that as a sign of guilt.
We talked considerably about what her plans would be and how she felt.
Barb testifies that on December 15th, 1998, the final day of her daughter's life, she spoke with Rhonda just hours after Ron Reynolds had declared that their marriage was over.
She was upbeat. She was ready to go on with her life.
Did she at all mention to you that she was suicidal?
No.
But Ron's mother, Laura, disagrees, testifying that Rhonda was despondent.
She called me 3 times that day.
What did she tell you when she talked to you?
She just told me she could not go on living without him.
Raise your right hand, please.
Testimony about Rhonda's state of mind goes back and forth. Police officer and friend Dave Bell says she did not appear depressed that night when he helped pack up her things, but he recalls Rhonda did do one thing that was unusual.
Rhonda handed me a holstered blue steel revolver and said, "Here, take this."
When Bell asked why, Rhonda didn't answer.
What did you do with the weapon then?
I removed it from the holster, removed the ammunition that was in the cylinder, and asked her where she wanted me to put it. She indicated she wanted it put in a drawer. I placed it in a drawer by the bed.
Those who believe a homicide took place in the home that night look at that passing of the gun to Dave Bell as Rhonda fearing that that gun might be used against her.
In my mind, I think she might have been fearing she was going to use it on herself.
On that fatal night, Ron insists he spent hours with Rhonda trying to calm her.
She was emotional and depressed. She was saying she didn't want to break up the marriage.
Ron did more than console his wife on the night they'd agreed to break up. Autopsy testimony revealed they made love.
Was that at her urging? Was this desperation sex?
Yeah, it was probably just, you know, I don't know, desperation's not the right word. Maybe saying goodbye sex. I don't know.
Shortly after midnight, Rhonda made one last phone call to her friend, Dave Bell.
I asked her if everything was okay down there where she was, and she says, yeah, she'd gotten some things resolved and was going to get some sleep and was fairly happy with what was going on. Investigators admit they will never know who fired this gun. Neither Ron nor Jonathan was ever given a gunshot residue test.
Was there gunshot residue on Rhonda's hand?
There was.
But there was not enough for the test to be conclusive.
I received a .32 caliber S&W long handgun.
What's more, fingerprint expert Jill Arwine testifies she found no prints on the gun. But that doesn't necessarily mean the gun was wiped clean.
It's common to touch something and not leave a print.
While no photos were taken at the crime scene before the gun was moved, Detective Dave Neeser was among the first on the scene, and his recollection is clear.
Plainly visible, there was a gun resting on her right temple.
But that would be impossible, says firearms expert Marty Hayes, if Rhonda shot herself. Hayes demonstrates for the jury that the recoil from the shot would have made the gun land away from Rhonda's head.
It basically recoiled away from the head like this, and it didn't recoil forward.
And that's not all.
That's about how the shot was fired, about like that.
Hayes believes that given the trajectory of the bullet, it would have been very difficult for Rhonda to have held the gun herself.
Okay, but this is very awkward. Okay, but this is the only plausible way that a person can shoot themselves with the right hand. Look.
His conclusion?
This wound is much more consistent with someone committing a murder than it is someone committing suicide.
The inquest also focuses on Ron Reynolds' behavior after Rhonda's death.
I asked him if I could take her body back to Spokane, if I could have her cremated, and he said he didn't care as long as he didn't have to pay for it.
I never said that, and I did pay for it.
But a friend of Rhonda's, Lori Hull, turns the inquest's attention to a different suspect.
My opinion would have been Jonathan. He wasn't a very nice kid, and he threatened to stab her.
Barb says Rhonda told her about another problem with Jonathan.
She had told me she knew that Jonathan had a problem with controlled substances.
Ann Rule believes the incident when Rhonda caught Jonathan spying on her in the shower truly happened, humiliating him and giving him a motive.
She told girlfriends that he'd threatened to kill her. She told her mother he'd threatened to kill her.
And you don't have any doubt that he did that?
No.
And if today he says he never did?
I don't believe him.
Did you walk into that closet with a gun in your hand, with your father's gun?
No.
Shoot her in the side of the head?
No, I did not.
We are inquiring into the death of Rhonda Reynolds.
The jury hears from Ron's ex-wife, Catherine Hudela, who admitted she did more than just comfort her sons after Rhonda was discovered dead.
And when you were in the house, where did you sleep? Which room?
In Ron's room.
Okay, with Ron?
Yeah.
Okay.
The night that Rhonda is over at the morgue, you're in bed with your ex-wife?
No.
Your ex-wife did say to authorities that she had slept in the same bed with you that night.
She didn't sleep in the same bed with me that night, I don't think. If she did, there wasn't anything going on. I don't think she did, but maybe she remembers it different.
In all, more than 40 witnesses take the stand. The jury would take 11 hours before announcing its dramatic decision.
We, the jury, find that the manner of death of the subject of this inquest was homicide.
After 13 long years, Barb Thompson had her victory.
Oh, my. Good for you.
But even more drama is about to unfold.
Somebody out there is responsible for my daughter's death. At some point, they will be held accountable.
You are now asked to see if you can determine who is responsible for the death.
This jury names somebody, an arrest warrant will be issued by the coroner.
That's my understanding.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
This was an entire building. It will take years to rebuild.
We're from CBS News, American television.
You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
This case.
It's like a screenplay, something straight out of Hollywood.
But it's not fiction. It's 48 hours.
Human remains found this week.
4 families shattered.
There's no physical evidence.
The mystery would haunt investigators for years.
There's some questions that have to be asked and need to be answered.
Like a John Grisham novel.
A gripping true crime original, 48 Hours, now streaming on the free CBS News app.
No matter how you start your day, one thing is clear.
CBS Mornings is the best way to start your day.
I can see clearly now.
My morning routine.
The first thing I do when I wake up is turn off the alarm.
I try to remember where I put my phone down.
One alarm goes off at 4 a.m.
I need not one, not two, but
And I'm out the door at 4:15.
3 snoozes to get out of bed fully coherent.
How much detail are you looking for?
I love a bath full of bubbles. The more bubbles, the better.
I'm very quick with the actual coffee, shave, shower, dressed out the door, but all around that is just pure chaos. For example, this morning, these are dirty socks.
You want my honest answer? Am I a morning person? I gotta be honest. I wish morning started at like 10 a.m. Can I say that? Clearly.
It's a bright, bright, bright way to start your day. CBS Mornings weekdays at 7 on CBS.
People with developmental disabilities were once sequestered by the hundreds of thousands in institutions.
Many of our fellow citizens are suffering tremendously because lack of attention, lack of imagination, lack of adequate manpower.
Disability activists have since torn down barriers blocking them from living at home or in the community.
We conclude that Title II of the ADA requires states to provide community-based treatment for persons with mental disabilities.
But of the 16,000 people who remain in state-operated institutions, half are in 5 states, and Illinois is one of them.
I don't want to live in the institution. It makes me feel discriminated against.
Do you think there are people living in institutions in Illinois that don't need to be living there?
Yeah, because they're proving it as soon as they get out.
What happens when we follow the human side of the headline?
I was in tears.
Life is a little bit different now.
It's gonna take a while to get used to. And I said it to myself that I can't make this about me.
You get the all-new CBS Evening News.
Okay, I've got.
Were you surprised that both Rhonda and Jonathan?
What would you tell Rhonda about your fight for the last 13 years?
I hope you're proud of me. We did it.
Barb Thompson now waits to see if the jurors take the next critical step and name who is responsible for her daughter's murder. In less than an hour, a stunning announcement.
We, the jury, have determined that the decedent died at the hand of the following person or persons: Ronald A. Reynolds, Jonathan A. Reynolds. The jury's decision was representative of the citizens. They expect me to follow through with their decision.
Coroner Warren McLeod issues an arrest warrant for Ron and Jonathan Reynolds.
It's unbelievable. It's overwhelming.
But Barb's joy is short-lived when Lewis County Prosecutor Jonathan Meyer holds a sudden news conference. He announces he will not prosecute the Reynolds men.
My decision is to not charge either Ron or Jonathan Reynolds with murder at this time.
Why? Because most of the evidence was destroyed after Rhonda's death was first ruled a suicide.
I swear that the evidence you will give.
And some investigators who'd be called to testify still believe Rhonda killed herself. But the coroner issues the arrest warrants anyway.
Please rise.
Within hours, father and son turn themselves in and are brought before a judge.
Is Ronald A. Reynolds your correct name?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is Jonathan A. Reynolds your correct name?
Yes.
What was that like to be brought into that courthouse to walk in front of the television cameras?
It was the most demeaning thing I've ever experienced.
The whole thing was unreal to me.
The prosecutor then makes good on his promise.
Your Honor, at this time we are asking the court to sign orders directing the release of Jonathan Reynolds and Ronald Reynolds.
neither Ron or Jonathan will be prosecuted.
So then my question is, why did they put us through that? Barb Thompson, in my estimation, has made a Jerry Springer show out of this whole thing.
I'm going to order that both of the Reynolds be released.
In less than 3 minutes, an investigation and inquest, which spanned 13 years, is over.
Okay, that's it.
The Reynolds men are released.
As quickly as they came in, they left and were free to go. Does that trouble you?
No, because they'll never forget that brief moment. And neither will I.
Barbara Thompson is a disturbed lady. That's all I can say. She doesn't know me. She doesn't know my boys. She doesn't know our motivations, what kind of people we are. There's no way that any of us could ever do anything like we're accused of.
The case remains an open investigation. But to Barb and Ann Rule, it's clear who's responsible.
Well, who do you think pulled the trigger?
Jonathan.
Are you a killer, Jonathan?
Absolutely not. That's ridiculous that that is even being said.
And why would Jonathan kill Rhonda when she was about to walk out of his life forever?
Jonathan has very deep hatred for Rhonda.
Barb and Ann Rule think they have the answer.
So this was a drug-fueled...
I think it was a drug-fueled. I think it was spur of the moment. It was stupid. It was cruel. But I think that's what happened.
Barb says her daughter told her that Jonathan was using drugs at the time.
At that point, his drug of choice was meth.
Crystal meth?
Crystal meth.
A highly addictive drug known to fuel irrational behavior.
It's been suggested in the news media that you were a drug user at the time, that you were a crystal meth user. Is that true?
I wasn't at the time. I did do some after.
Jonathan admits he did turn to drugs, but only because of Rhonda's suicide.
All this stuff happened and I kind of lost my head. And I went down a bad road.
Hey, two ways. The Reynolds family is determined not to let Barb Thompson or Ann Rule have the last word in this story. They step from the shadows and hold a press conference.
What's happened so far is in no way justice.
CBS Mornings is clearly fun.
Money saving. Dollar Jill's here to tell us what it means for you.
Clearly delish.
So what's on the menu today?
Clearly, CBS Mornings weekdays at 7 on CBS.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
Write a prescription for the healing of America.
We're retired and this is our paradise.
Now it's gone.
You get the stories of America every night. You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
This is CBS.
I had progressively fallen deeper into the world of online sports betting.
The risk is the rush.
What do you think is driving the spike in popularity?
I think it's legality.
If it's legal, I'm going to use it. There are ways to bet
when you are 18.
We've created an epidemic of child gambling.
You can't walk into a male dormitory in a college campus without sports betting happening.
It's America's most neglected problem.
I used sports betting as a way to escape, when in reality, I'm choosing self-destruction. Whatever I had left, it was gone.
The purpose of the industry is to get you to play to extinction. And that means until all your money is gone.
Go to the ends of the earth. We'll hit the heights. And reach for the stars.
Star power. I like it.
Ta-da!
I want to be part of this.
Because there's always something new under the sun on CBS Sunday morning.
You've probably heard of the NCIS from the hit TV series, but we're about to take you inside its real-life work. Listen to 48 Hours NCIS early and ad-free on the 48 Hours Plus subscription on Apple Podcasts.
Okay, let's go.
You guys good?
Start at the beginning.
All right, we good?
Keep going.
The clock, it's ticking.
Off we go.
60 minutes. Is this what you want?
60 minutes.
60 minutes!
It's time for 60 Minutes, Sundays on CBS.
It is easier to reach a conclusion that Rhonda was murdered than it is to prove who killed her.
To tell you the truth, I haven't read the book, and I haven't read a lot of the trash in the newspapers because my psyche can't stand that. And I know the truth, and I don't need to read all the lies.
Why did you wait so long to speak up? 13 years.
Well, from the very beginning, I started feeling like there were people trying to frame me for something I didn't do. And any information that did get out, it seemed like it was twisted. And so we were in a self-preservation mode.
And you felt silence was better than standing up in front of people and saying, I'm an innocent man? Because there's always the notion that if you are innocent, you want to shout that from the mountaintop.
But the problem with that is sometimes when a person shouts that too loud, it gives the impression that you're guilty too.
Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this time to come together.
In fact, Ron says his family is the real victim in Rhonda's death, fighting accusations in the media by Barb Thompson and in Ann Rule's book.
They've done nothing but just try to hurt us and try to put us into jail over something that we didn't do.
Ron's sons and his fourth wife, Linda, are combating what they say is a smear campaign against them. Oldest brother, Cy.
They raised some legitimate questions, but those questions turned into a crusade and a witch hunt that's all based on hearsay, rumors, and lies. Lies that by design make my family out to be monsters.
Josh is the youngest son.
I would just like to try to clear our name because this has been really hard to deal with. It's been a tragedy. It reminds me of the good old days, spaghetti nights.
While they try to get back to a new version of normal, it's clear this ordeal has taken a toll on the family. After the inquest, Ron resigned from his job as elementary school principal in exchange for a buyout from the Toledo School District.
Here I am, 60 years old, and now I'm unemployed, and with this over my head, I don't see how I can go back to my profession.
Jonathan, then 30, and living with his girlfriend and her son, worried he'd become an outcast.
I can't tell you how many times this has come up in the middle of the job interview, and then it's, oh, well, we'll give you a call. Okay, sure.
Ann Rule isn't swayed by the family's protests. She has released a new edition of her book that includes the inquest findings.
Based on your investigation and your belief, there's a killer out there right now.
Yes. In my mind, with all my experience, there's no way that Rhonda Reynolds killed herself. So if she didn't kill herself, she wasn't struck down with a gun that dropped from heaven. Somebody shot her, and nobody's in jail for it.
There is no clear ending to this story. All that is left are shattered lives and the haunting realization that perhaps justice is beyond reach.
We are here because Rhonda's mother cannot accept the fact that her daughter shot herself.
Is there a possibility that maybe you didn't know your daughter as well as you did? Is there a possibility she went to some dark place that she couldn't get out of?
There's always that possibility. Anything's possible. Is it probable? No.
Barb is back tending to her horses. It's been a long, painful journey.
What do you want the world to know today about the death of Rhonda Reynolds?
I want them to know that my daughter was murdered, but I also want them to know that our judicial system is only as good as we make it. We can make a difference.
I grew up believing in law and order and that you're innocent until proven guilty. And I've learned that that's really not the case. You're guilty until proven innocent.
There is one certainty after all of the confusion in this case. Rhonda Reynolds' death certificate now reads homicide.
What happens when reporters take you inside the story?
I've been asking for over a year and a half for access into this place, and this is the first time we're getting it.
You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
This is CBS.
This is NCIS. You put on that uniform, you agree to protect the person next to you, no matter what. Welcome to Australia.
Match made in heaven.
Watch out! Hey, hungry? Shout you a crock burger?
NCIS Sydney. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus. Returns CBS Full.
I'm Erin Moriarty of 48 Hours, and of all the cases I've covered, this is the one that troubles me most. Listen to Murder in the Orange Grove, the troubled case against Crosley Green, wherever you get your podcasts.
Be in the know, even when you're on the go, with the CBS Mornings podcast.
Some news you can use at the grocery store.
Better mornings start better days.
When you look good, feel good, you do good.
That's right.
Listen to CBS Mornings on the go on Apple Podcasts.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
Write a prescription for the healing of America.
We're retired and this is our paradise. Now it's gone.
You get the stories of America every night. You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
I can only describe it as evil.
Follow and listen to Train to Kill, The Dog Trainer, The Heiress, and The Bodyguard on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
My job can get dangerous sometimes, but I'm very good at what I do. I know you're scared. I'm here to help.
They said you were the best.
Your daughter hired me to bring you home. I made her promise I would never stop looking.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You hear about the reward?
Come in.
Okay.
Tracker. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
I'm John Dickerson.
I'm Maurice Dubois. Part of the all-new CBS Evening News.
Go to the ends of the earth.
We'll hit the heights.
A great adventure together.
And reach for the stars.
Star power. I like it.
So cool.
But wait, there's more.
Experience thought-provoking.
Something that's undeniable.
With mindfulness. Innovative.
Magical.
It's like being a child.
And truly original reporting.
How'd you do your research? I tell a good story.
Because there's always something new under the sun on CBS Sunday morning.
That day and what had happened that day is going to be with me until the day I die. It's something I carry on my conscience every day. And I just can't believe that this is where my life is right now. When I look back when I was younger, you know, I'd never seen myself at 26 years old, you know, being called a murderer.
I started getting in the water when I was probably about 8. And then kind of surfing took over. It was awesome. I had no worries. I had a relaxed job. I was doing freelance art for a few companies. Anything that I could do that had to deal with painting or being artistic or expressive, I was on it. Well, there was a point in my life where I was kind of just tired of surfing every day, working at surf shops, and I wanted something more. So that's what kind of pushed me to join the military. And it strictly wasn't for, you know, pride of country or anything like that. It was just to help you know, brothers in arms, a brotherhood. I was looking for, you know, a brotherhood. It's, you go over there with the complete intention of giving your life for somebody else. And I think there's nothing that has more valor or integrity than that. There's times I do sit out there and I wonder where I could have been if I stayed home. I'd be a total different person.
Jackie was a very loving, beautiful girl who loved me, and I loved her unconditionally.
Jackie was beaten to death. It was a bloody scene. The pictures show a scene that, you know, most people would think it's a Quentin Tarantino movie. On John's hands, you could actually see the swelling that was caused by his repeated pummeling of Jackie's face.
He beat her to death?
Beat her to death. She was a 19-year-old girl, really attractive, you know, a high school graduate, a ton of friends. Everybody said what a sweet gal she was.
I was trained to kill. I come home, I can't adjust to the regular civilian lifestyle. I spun out of control. I needed help.
You can't let sympathy affect the administration of justice. Simply because someone is serving your country, you can't use that as an excuse or a pass on unlawful criminal conduct.
Unfortunately, with the way I was trained, you know, to react to threats is to neutralize threats. Even when it's someone I love.
What happens when reporters take you inside the story?
I've been asking for over a year and a half for access into this place, and this is the first time we're getting it.
You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
This is CBS.
NCIS. You put on that uniform, you agree to protect the person next to you, no matter what.
Welcome to Australia.
Match made in heaven.
Watch out! Are you hungry? Shout you a crock burger?
NCIS Sydney. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus. Returns CBS Full.
I'm Erin Moriarty of 48 Hours, and of all the cases I've covered, this is the one that troubles me most. Listen to Murder in the Orange Grove, the trouble case against Crosley Green, wherever you get your podcasts.
Be in the know, even when you're on the go, with the CBS Mornings podcast.
Some news you can use at the grocery store.
Better mornings start better days.
When you look good, feel good, you do good.
That's right.
Listen to CBS Mornings on the go on Apple Podcasts.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
Write a prescription for the healing of America.
We're retired and this is our paradise.
Now it's going.
You get the stories of America every night. You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
I can only describe it as evil.
Follow and listen to Train to Kill, the dog trainer, the heiress, and the bodyguard on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
My job can get dangerous sometimes, but I'm very good at what I do. I know you're scared. I'm here to help.
They said you were the best.
Your daughter hired me to bring you home. I made her promise I would never stop looking.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You hear about the reward?
Come here.
Okay.
Tracker. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
All right, here she goes. I feel like a tagged animal.
In July of 2009, John Needham was out on bail, but far from a free man.
This is a constant reminder of what has happened and what is true reality, no matter how much I try to hide from it or try to escape from it.
John was awaiting trial for a crime he found difficult to comprehend, killing a woman he says he loved.
You know, she was absolutely precious to me. She still is.
Jackie Villagomez was 19 when she died. She had only known John for a few months. She'd been a track star in high school and was hoping to break into modeling and acting.
This is her at her most natural. I don't even think she's wearing makeup. She's just beautiful.
Sarah and Spencer Savino were so close to Jackie, they considered themselves sisters. At odds with her own family, Jackie lived with the Savinos for a year when she was 17.
Describe her for me.
She had really vivacious personality. Well, they call it the Jackie glow. Like she had this just glow about her from just her big, bright white teeth and her smile.
What did you learn about her life before she came into yours?
I learned that her mom had passed away when she was very young. She lived with a grandmother, and her brother was in a very happy home, just didn't feel very loved. I don't think had a sense of real belonging and what like a real family life is like.
And she found that with your family?
I believe that she did.
But when Jackie graduated from high school and set off on her own, she struggled on and off with drugs. She had talent, but drifted from job to job.
She had her issues with her mom dying very young of AIDS. She's had her drug addictions. She had her issues, and I had my issues. I just got back from Iraq, and we were both broken people, and we kind of mended well. We kind of helped each other.
It was Iraq that broke John. After serving more than a year, he came home shattered, physically and emotionally. He'd been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD.
When people ask me how John was, it was kind of like, I don't know. I don't know how John is, because John's not here anymore. It's somebody else.
Growing up, Mike Needham often teased his younger brother John, but when John came home from Iraq, Mike grew concerned. John was edgy, had mood swings and flashbacks, symptoms of PTSD.
I remember one time I woke him up, and I woke him up out of his sleep because he was crying in his sleep. And John had got up, and he went to the corner of the room and took off all his clothes, and then got into like a fighting stance, like he was gonna fight me. And then I had to turn the lights, and I'm like, John, what are you doing? And then he snapped out of it.
To make matters worse, John had severe back pain from combat injuries. He was prescribed a fistful of drugs and often downed them with alcohol.
John was never a drinker. You know, before he left, he didn't drink alcohol, but he came back and he would drink and drink and drink. And he was drinking the pain away.
The drinking escalated when Jackie moved in with John. John's father, Mike Sr., lived upstairs.
To me, it was throwing gasoline on the fire. I had talked to him and said, you know, it wasn't a good time to have a relationship and that he needed to concentrate on his own rehabilitation.
But Jackie stayed, and their fragile relationship started to crumble. 3 days before her death, Jackie posted this angry message on John's MySpace page. John's father put his foot down. On September 1st, 2008, he insisted it was time for Jackie to go.
I said, Jackie, I'm going to give you some money. We are going to get you to like a hotel, motel, and we're going to help you get on your feet. She wasn't happy about it at all. She was really, really kind of distraught, upset.
The couple wasn't ready to say goodbye. A store security camera captured this image of them holding hands, buying vodka for what would be their last alcohol-fueled night together.
I think that for both of us, we were on a downward spiral, and it got to a boiling point to where, you know, something was going to happen. What it was, whether it was me dying, her dying, someone was going to die.
There was blood spatter on the door jamb, the wall, the bathroom door, what we call like impact patterns, somebody being struck and the blood spraying off of being struck.
Homicide Detective Joe Gall with the Orange County Sheriff's Department learned the bloodshed was sparked by a jealous rage, Jackie's. Earlier that evening, Jackie had finally agreed to move out. But just as Jackie was leaving, an old girlfriend, Renee Stoner, showed up to visit John. And soon after, Jackie stormed back in.
And Jacqueline was very upset that Renee was there at the house with John. They got into a physical confrontation over that fact. John had separated both of them, and John was restraining Jacqueline while Renee escaped to the bathroom. Eventually, John told her to get out of here.
This girl just attacked me and ripped out half of my hair.
Once outside, Renee called 911, where she described Jackie as the aggressor, not John.
And where is this girl at? She's inside the house. You need the paramedics? I don't know. She was hitting my head, but I feel fine. I'm just really shaken up. Okay.
At that time, she didn't see any blood. She didn't witness any beating or assault of any kind. She just left the scene.
But something happened in the few minutes it took deputies to respond. When they found Jackie, she was battered, near death, and would not survive. John was naked, crying, and smeared in blood. Deputies say John charged them, and they had to use a taser to subdue him.
There was no evidence to indicate anything other than John's fists were used to beat Jacqueline.
And you began your interview with John Needham.
Yes, he was still in a hospital gown, and his hands were wrapped in paper bags because we had already decided that we were going to try to extract some evidence from his hands down the road. We didn't want that to be contaminated.
What happened in that room?
When Detective Gall and his partner questioned him, John had few answers.
She had to do something to set you off to pull the trigger, right?
Don't know.
You do know, John.
I
You do
don't
know.
know. I don't know. Okay? I'm a vet. Okay? I have issues. I get set off.
John never was able to provide a clear explanation for the killing. He says as he struggled to restrain Jackie, something inside of him snapped.
I see it as complete chaos, complete insanity. And I see it as myself being uncontrollable. Turning into an animal. There's, you know, I never wanted this to happen.
What happens when you get conversation over conflict?
I think they've taught me to have grace and compassion.
When we follow the human side of the headline.
I'm not asking that we ignore disability, rather that we do not ignore ability.
When news takes you where the story happens.
We've just crossed into Lebanon.
When the world's best journalists come together to cover your world, you get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight. It's the most popular F word in Washington, fraud.
Is it true that the Social Security number of just about every single American is available for sale on the dark web?
An eye-opening 60 Minutes report.
That's chilling.
It's time for 60 Minutes.
Your life is still a mystery.
When your gut tells you something fishy's going on, there's almost always a 4-day-old carp lying around somewhere.
Finishing this is the only thing that's important to me. Either way, the truth is coming out.
Heading home? Who the hell are you, Madeline Matlock?
Matlock. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
Sunday morning, we hail a driverless taxi, plus billionaire Barry Diller's revealing new memoir, and when trash becomes art, this Sunday morning.
Politics isn't a game. When do consumers actually get to touch and feel a difference in their lives? Politics is about policy. So you would encourage Democrats to work with Donald Trump on an issue like healthcare? I'm a voracious consumer of information, and I'm impatient. I don't like to be spun. Do you know if there are active terror cells in the United States right now? To be moderator of Face the Nation means bringing the most powerful stakeholders to the table to become better informed.
It was almost like being face-to-face with the devil.
48 hours reports. I fought and fought.
911, what is your emergency?
She disappeared off the face of the earth.
Stream 48 hours, 24/7.
Elspeth! Oh, I thought I saw you. And then I thought, well, who else could it be? Dressed as a member of the Lollipop Guild.
I work with the police. I like my outlandish theories with a heavy dose of evidence. Nice alibi, by the way.
Can you be careful with that?
Whoever did this is still out there. And I do love a mystery.
Elsbeth. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
John Needham killed Jackie Villagomez with his bare hands. But to his father, this crime was not a murder.
Should John be held responsible for Jackie's death?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But was it murder? No, it was not murder. Was it premeditated? No.
Mike argues that if not for John's war wounds, physical and psychological, Jackie would be alive today.
Do you think you might be making excuses for your son?
Not at all. If you don't have the mental capacity to know the difference between right or wrong, it doesn't make it okay. But it is a different situation than consciously going out and killing somebody. And that's not what happened.
There's a reason why this happened, and it's not just because I'm a monster.
To make his case, John allowed investigative reporter Michael DiIuana and a team of filmmakers to dig into his life and document the story of his unraveling in Iraq.
What other incident in my life, besides being in combat, would contribute to me being a murderer?
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this special occasion. We thank you for bringing...
On this day in the late summer of 2009,
Amen.
John's extended family gathered at his grandfather's home to show him support before his trial.
You can take the soldier out of the war, but you can't take the war out of the soldier. And John is a hero. John is a hero.
I wouldn't say that.
John's family knows about courage, having served their country for 5 generations.
This was my great-great-uncle that perished in the Alamo.
John's father was in Army intelligence. His father was in World War II. The Army seemed to be in John's blood.
I think the best thing that I'm capable of doing is being a soldier, and that'll be until the day I die.
In March of 2006, John followed in the footsteps of his father and grandfather and signed up. He was assigned to Fort Carson, Colorado, to a unit called the 212, nicknamed the Lethal Warriors. By that fall, he was in Baghdad.
I was extremely gun-ho, motivated, shoot, move, communicate, kill kind of a soldier, and I did exactly what I was told. Every single mission that we went on, when people were, lagging and getting kind of tired and not too motivated, I would always be up in their face, getting them ready and pumped up for the mission. And so I got known as the Need Hammer because I was just constantly the first one in the door to pound on things, just, don't get in my way.
We don't have footage of John in combat. But CBS News did have cameras in and around Baghdad at the time he was there.
That alleyway right there, take it right.
Capturing some of the most intense fighting of the war. John served with distinction, earning multiple honors, including a Purple Heart and an Army Commendation Medal for protecting his team during an ambush.
And that was the most intense situation of my life, being ambushed. I remember I was stuck behind a wall that was about this high and being pinned down without my helmet, and just remember feeling the impacts of the rounds hitting the concrete and then watching the whole wall in front of me just explode.
He survived multiple IED and grenade attacks. But his bravery came at a price. He suffered concussions, shrapnel wounds, and a fractured back.
The very worst was it blasted my head up towards the top of the roof, and I hit my head, and which we later found out broke my T9 and T10 vertebrae, knocked me out, and went back on patrol the next day. I went to the hospital and I was told by my command to tell them that everything's fine, because if you tell them the truth or if you tell them something's wrong, then they're going to take you out, and you want to be away from us now.
But for John, the psychological damage was even worse.
It changed me completely. It's still something I think about. It's still something I dream about. I've seen children's bodies cut up, burnt, mutilated. To see women dead and women maimed is something that'll change you forever.
In June of 2007, his unit was ordered to shoot a man suspected of trying to detonate an IED.
We engaged and killed him, drug his body into the middle of the streets.
Then, according to John, members of his unit did the unthinkable.
They pulled open the cavity of the deceased's head and pulled out his brains, messed with his body a little bit. We put it on top of the Humvee without a body bag and drove it around the city to kind of show everyone this is what happens when you mess with us. I started not to really care anymore. I just tried personally to put myself in the most deadliest positions I can get into.
His emails to his brother Mike became alarming.
I could see an emotional slide with him towards the end there. And instead of telling us he was okay, It was more of a matter of, yes, I'm alive, and if I'm alive tomorrow, I'll send you an email.
And I said to him, listen, I said, I'll do anything you need me to do. If you want to try to come home, having my son come home whole was the most important thing.
There were more staggering blows for John. That same summer, an IED wiped out 5 of his comrades. And just when John had allowed himself to think about going home, the orders came in extending his tour in Iraq.
I lost touch with reality.
For weeks afterwards, John tried to numb himself with whiskey. And when that didn't work, Private Needham picked up a gun.
I came back to my room and I pulled out my M9 pistol with my best friend Smith in the room. And he's like, what the are you doing? And I put it to my head and we wrestle, and the weapon discharges.
We're NCIS. You guys want to see me do the cha-cha slide?
Can we get to the body, please?
Right.
Oh, what's got you so punchy lately?
Not punchy. Passionate. This is a great team for what? We're NCIS.
NCIS, all episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
No matter how you start your day, one thing is clear.
Actually, 2 things. Pretty sure it's 3.
Guys, whether it's news, money, health, or wellness, sports, movies, or even inspiration.
Clearly, CBS Mornings is the place to be. That's like 7 things.
Okay, clearly, I'm bad at math, always been. Clearly, CBS Mornings, weekdays at 7 on CBS.
We can start whenever you're ready.
Ready?
Yeah. No, stop! Wrong pedal, wrong other pedal! Oh! He's in a wheelchair!
What do you want?
God, stop the car! That's a kid! Kid!
Did I pass?
Now serving 942.
Go to the ends of the earth.
We'll hit the heights.
A great adventure together.
And reach for the stars.
Star power. I like it.
So cool.
But wait, there's more.
Experience thought-provoking,
Something that's undeniable.
With mindfulness.
innovative,
Magical.
It's like being a child.
and truly original reporting.
God, you do your research.
I tell a good story.
Because there's always something new under the sun on CBS Sunday morning.
Hi, CBS. I'm Tom Ellis. I can't wait for you to see my new show, CIA, coming CBS Fall.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
Write a prescription for the healing of America.
You get the stories of America every weeknight. You get the all-new CBS Evening News.
When everything's on the line, real heroes rise to the occasion. Or die trying. We're firefighters. We're gonna find a way to get you out of here.
We take the hits together.
We're on the same team.
I'm right here with you, no matter what.
I would never leave you hanging in the deep end.
This place is a way of giving you new family.
Fire Country. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
I pulled out my M9 pistol with my best friend Smith in the room, and put the pistol up in the air. I charged it, and he's like, "What the are you doing?" And I put it to my head and we wrestle, and the weapon discharges.
The bullet missed its mark and put a hole in the barracks wall. It was September 2007. John had been in Iraq for 11 months.
I snapped. I completely turned into something I didn't want to be, and I didn't want to live anymore.
But instead of getting immediate help, Private Needham says he was punished.
They treated him like a captive, like he was an enemy, an insurgent. Basically held him captive in a small room.
This soldier from John's unit was in the barracks that night. He's speaking out in support of John, even though he fears reprisal from the Army.
I'm curious, though, as to why you agreed to do it.
Because the honest to God truth, I just feel like somebody should have said something earlier and nobody's done it yet, and I just wanted to do right.
The soldier says after a few days, John was seen by an Army psychiatrist, but his isolation continued.
For how long?
I think it was about a month.
And John's commander insisted that he be watched by 2 soldiers night and day, a task that angered his exhausted comrades.
They were trying to embarrass him because he was seeking help?
I think they were trying to do more than that. I think that they were trying to get it so that everyone turned against him.
Did they?
I think nearly everybody did.
We asked the Army for a response. The Army declined, but 48 Hours obtained this sensitive Army document through the Freedom of Information Act that shows John's superior did not see his action as a suicide attempt. Instead, he was recommended for a general courts-martial for being drunk, firing his weapon in the barracks. And according to the document, this wasn't the first time John had gotten himself into hot water. Months earlier, Needham, quote, got into trouble with pills, drugs, and alcohol, and he had been demoted for it.
John's story is quite complicated. There are many twists and turns in his story.
Michael D. Ioana wrote about John's case for Salon.com and came on board as a consultant for CBS News. He says he talked to many soldiers in John's platoon.
They don't have a lot of sympathy for the fact that he might have been suffering from severe post-traumatic stress disorder.
When word reached Mike Needham, he scrambled to get his son out of Iraq.
And I just started making phone calls, Pentagon, anybody would listen to me.
After weeks of calls, John was sent to Walter Reed Army Medical Center in Washington, D.C. There, his condition was considered serious enough to hospitalize him for post-traumatic stress disorder.
They had really good doctors at Walter Reed.
But John was at Walter Reed for barely a month when he was abruptly transferred to Fort Carson in Colorado.
John was receiving psychological care at Walter Reed, but then he was being taken out of that care against his own will and against the will of his family.
Had that not happened, Mike Needham strongly believes this story might have ended here. That his son would never have gotten to the point of beating a young woman to death.
There's no doubt about it, and I'm convinced of that. He should have been in a hospital.
Mike Needham saw the move to Fort Carson as more punishment for his son. John was put back on duty, and a court-martial still hung over his head. Although he received medical care, John told his father he was under acute stress and getting worse.
I love my son, and I knew the condition he was in. I saw him as needing help. He was sick, very sick.
So Mike fought hard and managed to get his son transferred to a military facility in San Diego, closer to home. In the months that followed, John bounced in and out of a string of hospitals, clinics, and doctor's offices. Despite the fact that he had a problem with alcohol, his list of medications grew. He was prescribed drugs to treat his pain, depression, insomnia, and PTSD. The effects were obvious.
There was like a timeline throughout the day where you could tell what medication John was on. There was times where he was in a good mood. There was times where he was just sleeping. There was times where he wouldn't say a word for hours on end. I was worried about the prescriptions, and I told him quite a few times, you got to do something about this.
But no amount of medicine could push a rack from John's thoughts. Feeling the weight, he sent a letter to Army brass detailing the events he saw as war atrocities committed by his unit.
They pulled open the cavity of the deceased's head and pulled out his brains, messed with his body a little bit.
John offered this photo as evidence. We've had to blur it because it's so graphic. It's a gloved hand holding what appears to be a brain.
We put it on top of the Humvee without a body bag and drove it around the city to kind of show everyone this is what happens when you mess with us.
John says he told Army investigators everything he knew.
They took it all down, said thank you for your information. I never heard anything about it again.
But the Army document obtained by 48 Hours shows an investigation was launched into Needham's allegations of war crimes. This document by the Criminal Investigation Command is redacted and incomplete. 111 pages were withheld. But in the information provided, soldiers who were questioned about this photo gave responses similar to this one. Quote, "We didn't have any body bags that day, so we had to put him on the hood of the vehicle for transport." Another described the gloved hand as picking up brain matter so no kids or dogs can play with it. The report concluded, quote, "The offense of war crimes did not occur." And with no explanation, the court-martial hanging over John's head quietly went away. In July of 2008, 9 months after being medevac from Iraq, Private John Needham was given a medical discharge, but he would never receive all the medals listed on his papers.
And they just basically kind of kicked him to the curb.
Days after his paperwork came through, John met Jackie. Two months later, John was accused of murder. And a friend would break the news to the Savino sisters that Jackie was gone.
And she came over and she's like, "It's true."
Still hurts.
So I went upstairs to my mom and I was like, "It's true, Mom, she's dead."
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
This was an entire building. It will take years to rebuild.
We're from CBS News, American television.
You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
This case.
It's like a screenplay, something straight out of Hollywood.
But it's not fiction. It's 48 hours.
Human remains found this week.
4 families shattered.
There's no physical evidence.
The mystery would haunt investigators for years.
There's some questions that have to be asked and need to be answered.
Like a John Grisham novel.
A gripping true crime original. 48 Hours, now streaming on the free CBS News app.
No matter how you start your day, one thing is clear.
CBS Mornings is the best way to start your day.
I can see clearly now.
My morning routine.
The first thing I do when I wake up is turn off the alarm.
I try to remember where I put my phone down.
One alarm goes off at 4 a.m.
I need not one, not two, but...
And I'm out the door at 4:15.
3 snoozes to get out of bed fully coherent.
How much detail are you looking for?
I love a bath full of bubbles. The more bubbles, the better.
I'm very quick with the actual coffee, shave, shower, dressed out the door, but all around that is just pure chaos. For example, this morning, these are dirty socks.
You want my honest answer? Am I a morning person? I gotta be honest. I wish morning started at like 10 a.m. Can I say that? Clearly.
It's a bright, bright, bright way to start your day. CBS Mornings weekdays at 7 on CBS.
People with developmental disabilities were once sequestered by the hundreds of thousands in institutions.
Many of our fellow citizens are suffering tremendously because lack of attention, lack of imagination, lack of adequate manpower.
Disability activists have since torn down barriers blocking them from living at home or in the community.
We conclude that Title II of the ADA requires states to provide community-based treatment for persons with mental disabilities.
But of the 16,000 people who remain in state-operated institutions, half are in 5 states, and Illinois is one of them.
I don't want to live in the institution. It makes me feel discriminated against.
Do you think there are people living in institutions in Illinois that don't need to be living there?
Yeah, because they're proving it as soon as they get out.
What happens when we follow the human side of the headline?
I was in tears.
Life is a little bit different now.
It's gonna take a while to get used to. And I said it to myself that I can't make this about me.
You get the all-new CBS Evening News.
In July of 2009, 10 months after Jackie's death, John Needham was still being treated for PTSD. He went to the VA Medical Center in Long Beach to see if he also had brain damage.
I think they're going to find out that there's going to be some probably microscopic bleeding inside my head, maybe some scar tissue from the explosions and firefights that I've been in.
In fact, the test confirmed that John did have traumatic brain injury, or TBI.
When you have trauma to the head, you can cause permanent damage to regions of the brain.
Dr. Richard Friedman is a professor of psychiatry at Weill Cornell Medical College.
Which can cause various kinds of problems in terms of control of emotion, control of behavior, personality change.
As John saw it, it was another piece of evidence that he was not in his right mind the night he killed Jackie.
TBI is something that affects you totally as a person, as a whole. Everything from memory to speech to hearing to being able to pay attention. So I believe that that's going to play a big part of my case.
He would need all the help he could get. He was facing 25 years to life for murder.
Somebody died, and John killed them. I don't think it was murder. I think it was, if anything, manslaughter.
Mike has never wavered in the defense of his brother since the night of the killing.
I'm a vet, okay? I have issues, I get set off.
I don't think he was aware of what had taken place to begin with. He had clearly gone through some things and brain injuries that obviously affected how he was.
But Mike, many soldiers see combat, but they don't come home and kill their girlfriends.
Sure, but there's plenty that have too. I thought he had a good defense.
In this particular instance, I don't think we're going to have any problem with a PTSD defense. It's going to be our defense. That, you know, you're facing the potential of life in prison. So they will give more than enough time to investigate, and
John's public defender, Michael Becker, felt he had a strong case. He'd tell the jury about John's multiple combat injuries and medications.
You okay? You all right? Yeah, I'm good.
With post-traumatic stress at the top of a long list.
The prosecution is going to say that John got drunk and he killed his girlfriend out of a drunken rage. That's exactly what they're going to say.
Couldn't be further from the truth. And that's why I'm waiting for my day in court, waiting for the truth to come out. That's the whole reason why we're doing this.
There were two Johns. There was the John that when he was sober, and then there was the John when he drank.
Orange County prosecutor Steve McGreevy's take on the crime was exactly as expected. He says John was drunk and killed Jackie in anger. McGreevy says you can see John's rage in the interrogation tape.
I don't like your vibe, and I don't like the way you are talking to me.
I don't care what you like.
Of course you don't.
And you see the different phases of John Needham, starting with very restrained and in control, to the very volatile, angry side that unfortunately Jackie saw on the night of the murder.
Well, you know, the first part of this interview, you said you're a completely under control guy, but then in the last 5 minutes you've told us you went off on the deputy.
I'm being accused for murder. How do you expect me to react? Restraint?
McGreevy doesn't buy the PTSD defense.
Yes, he was being treated for post-traumatic stress disorder. Whether or not he had it, we don't know. Some of the things that we have learned from people who served with him, that John indicated that he was faking this illness to avoid court-martial.
Your overall opinion of John Needham?
I think there's no question that he had psychiatric illness.
Dr. Friedman is not involved in the case, but he has treated many patients with post-traumatic stress disorder. We hired him to independently evaluate John's medical records. He says the central symptom of PTSD is re-experiencing the trauma, known as the flashback.
What triggers it is anything that vaguely comes close to the initial trauma. So for example, let's say you were in an explosion from an IED in the war. and you hear a car outside your window at night and it misfires. What will happen is you react as if you're right back in that initial situation where you were threatened and traumatized.
So do you believe, I mean, I know you weren't there, but do you believe John Needham suffered a flashback at the time of the murder?
Anything is possible. If he felt threatened in any way, it's possible that he experienced a flashback.
John's fellow soldier believes it's not only possible, it's likely.
You believe he killed Jackie because of PTSD?
I think that he wouldn't have done it if he hadn't deployed with us. So yes.
What makes you so confident?
Because it changes who you are. And those kind of experiences weigh heavy on people.
In fact, John is not the only soldier from the 212 to take a life back home. Between 2005 and 2008, 14 soldiers from Fort Carson, including Private John Needham, were charged or accused of homicide or attempted homicide. And the Army couldn't help but take notice.
This is truly serious, and we take it as such. In October of 2008, I asked the Army Surgeon General, Lieutenant General Eric Schoomaker, to send a team to Fort Carson in response to concerns about an apparent clustering of violent behavior at Fort Carson.
The study surveyed more than 650 Fort Carson soldiers who, like John, had experienced high-intensity combat while deployed.
About 40% of them had been involved in a violent episode with another individual after returning home. For example, choking someone, beating someone. 40%, that's a very high figure.
The team's findings made headlines when the Army acknowledged there appears to be a link between the stress of combat and soldiers' crimes back home. But officials were quick to point out combat stress doesn't cause violence. It's just one factor of many.
We cannot point to one issue or risk factor that would result in misconduct of this magnitude.
So against this backdrop, John prepared to face the jury.
So part of me is pumped up to get this, let's get this done, deal me my punishment.
We were in the final stages of trial preparation, and we were ready to go.
And Jackie's closest friends, Spencer and Sarah Savino, vowed to be there every step of the way, promising that Jackie would never be forgotten.
And that people do love her, and that she was a person, and to give that person a name and a life. She can't speak for herself anymore.
But John would never get his day in court.
And I instantly had this feeling that something was wrong. I just knew it.
I like it.
CBS Mornings is clearly fun.
Money saving. Dollar Jill's here to tell us what it means for you.
Clearly delish.
So what's on the menu today?
Clearly, CBS Mornings weekdays at 7 on CBS.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
Write a prescription for the healing of America.
We're retired and this is our paradise.
Now it's gone.
You get the stories of America every night. You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
This is CBS.
I had progressively fallen deeper into the world of online sports betting.
The risk is the rush.
What do you think is driving the spike in popularity?
I think it's legality.
If it's legal, I'm gonna use it. There are ways to bet when you are 18.
We've created an epidemic of child gambling.
You can't walk into a male dormitory in a college campus without sports betting happening.
It's America's most neglected problem.
I used sports betting as a way to escape, when in reality, I'm choosing self-destruction. Whatever I had left, it was gone.
The purpose of the industry is to get you to play to extinction. And that means until all your money is gone.
Go to the ends of the earth.
We'll hit the heights.
And reach for the stars.
Star power. I like it.
Ta-da!
I want to be part of this.
Because there's always something new under the sun on CBS Sunday morning.
You've probably heard of the NCIS from the hit TV series, but we're about to take you inside its real-life work. Listen to 48 Hours NCIS early and ad-free on the 48 Hours Plus subscription on Apple Podcasts.
Okay, let's go.
You guys good?
Start at the beginning.
All right, we good?
Keep going. It's the clock. It's ticking.
Off we go.
60 minutes. Is this what you want?
60 minutes.
60 minutes!
It's time for 60 Minutes. Sundays on CBS.
As of right now, I'm trying to live minute by minute. I'm trying to take it day by day and being as positive a person as I can.
By early 2010, as his trial date neared, John's pain became unbearable. Back surgery in California failed to provide relief.
And he was in constant pain. I mean, when he had sobered up, he could barely walk.
In desperation, John went to a hospital in Tucson, Arizona for yet another operation. He recuperated at his mother's home. She and John's father divorced long ago.
He loved Arizona. John felt like he was back in Iraq. He was in the desert, he had his boots on, and he was happy, ironically.
Shortly after surgery, Mike drove from California to lift his brother's spirits.
I remember I came in and he was sleeping, and I grabbed his big toe and I wiggled it. And he woke up and he put a smile on his face. He didn't know I was coming. And he's like, "Oh man, you're here." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Go back to sleep." I was like, "We'll see each other in the morning." And he's like, "Okay, cool, cool."
After a few hours of sleep, Mike woke up to find John's door locked. It was early in the morning on February 19th, 2010.
And I knock on it. I say, "John." I didn't hear a response, and I hit the door. It broke. I found him on his knees, laying across the bed. And I said, "John, John." So I'm pumping on his chest and breathing into his mouth. And he takes one large breath in, and then he breathes out. And I said, "John, John." I'm slapping him on the face. "John." I think he's back. He's not. And that was his last breath. He died right there in my arms.
John Needham was 26 years old.
We were numb. You can never get over, as a parent, losing one of your children. Just sitting here looking at the beach reminds me of my son, John. I will love him for the rest of my life.
It was an overdose of painkillers that killed John. The question is whether it was an accident or suicide.
To produce a level that was as high as his, there must have been an ingestion of a significant amount of opiates, which makes an accident unlikely.
With John gone, no one will ever really know. His autopsy reads, undetermined.
Here you have this tough military guy, you know, a decorated veteran that's been through hell and back, and then you find him dead on his bed. It's like you make it through grenades, you make it through gunshots, you make it through this, you make it through that. You go through the worst of the worst combat you could possibly experience, and then you die like that.
Prosecutor McGreevy says John may have been a good soldier, but he needed to be held accountable for what he did to Jackie. He never imagined the case would end like this.
There is a level of frustration that we couldn't bring Mr. Needham to justice and get justice for Jackie.
Despite losing one of her closest friends, Sarah Savino has come to see Jackie's death and John's in a different light.
He suffered a host of mental problems because of his time at war. Do you have any sympathy for him because of all of his suffering?
I think that's part of why I've been able to forgive him and move forward. I've always said, like, how we lost Jackie, his family also lost a son, and they lost him in a very different way. I do think that the war and the government and all of that plays a huge part in what happened. He didn't get the proper care and help that he needed, and I wish that he had, because if he had, maybe this wouldn't have happened.
There was no military funeral for Private Needham. A small family service marked his passing. A few of his comrades will remember him for the lives he saved in Iraq. Others will remember him for the life he took at home.
I think there's a lot more that everyone could have done. The Army and family. There's a lot more everyone could have done for John. I think John was a casualty of this war. And so was Jackie. Both of them.
Ready?
Yeah.
Ready? And 1, 2, 3.
No matter how you start your day, one thing is clear.
CBS Mornings is the best way to start your day.
Clearly. Look at his outfit. Amazing. Give me some love, baby.
We got a toy. Look at this.
Oh, no!
Clearly fun.
Hi, Otis. Hi. Smart. We've got tips to save on clothes, tech,
and more. Clearly uplifting. I'm getting goosebumps right now.
Oh, my heart is soaring.
I got one.
Ooh, okay. What do you got? I can't wait. Ooh.
The light bulb went off right here. I saw it go.
Okay, watch this. CBS Mornings is clearly brighter.
Ooh.
It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day.
It's a bright, bright, bright way to start your day. Clearly, CBS Mornings weekdays at 7 on CBS.
This is CBS.
What happens when you get conversation over conflict.
I think they've taught me to have grace and compassion.
When we follow the human side of the headline.
I'm not asking that we ignore disability, rather that we do not ignore ability.
When news takes you where the story happens.
We've just crossed into Lebanon.
When the world's best journalists come together to cover your world, you get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight. The CBS News original 60 Minutes opens its archives.
Pretty loose for Friday night.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not my first show.
With moments you haven't heard before.
It's almost more fun that way when you have something to prove.
Listen to 60 Minutes, a second look, wherever you get your podcasts.
Don't miss true crime anytime you want, anywhere you go, with 48 Hours Podcasts. Real crimes, real lives, real justice. Listen to 48 Hours Podcasts wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm John Dickerson.
I'm Maurice Dubois.
Part of the all-new CBS Evening News.
Money Watch is your no-nonsense guide to taking control of your finances, where I offer practical